Welcome live to Ohsweken Speedway as Tiffany Gate Fresh Gourmet presents Friday Night Excitement here on Epic RACEWEAR Championship Night. I'm Greg Kilman. With me, Adam Ross. Clinton Jeffrey will be trackside this evening as we get ready to crown our 2023 champions. And each battle will come down to the final feature of the year. Qualifying set to get underway. First up, the HRW Automotive Mini Stocks with their 2 qualifier races. And here's how they line up for qualifier number 1. On the pole from Waterford in car 4, that's Wade Thorne. Alongside him, Kylie Dixon from Brantford in the 9K. Jason Tolton lines up third from Guelph in car number 1. To the outside, the pinball, Mike Giberson from Caledonia starts his number 11 car in that 4th spot. John Lubeck from Port Colborne in the 14L lines up 5th. Christopher French from Stratford in the 54 starts in 6th. Jeff Elslager with a couple of wins this year from Linden in the 11E starts 7th. 8th will be Tim DeBoer from York in car number 9. Tristan De Silva from Waterdown in the 01 starts in 9th. Sean Taylor, Burlington, the 76. He'll start 10th. Fabio Oliveri from Ancaster in the 16. He's in the 11th spot with Doug Erskine to the outside. He's from Brantford in the 64E. Tylen Hill from Ohsweken, the 555 car, starts in the 13th spot. Spencer Riddle of Caledonia in the 84 starts in the 14th position. Richard Hadler from Thorold in the 60 lines up 15th. And John Cote, there's a name we haven't heard in a little while, starts 16th in car number 14.
That's how the lineup here in qualifier number 1. Both of our top 2 points contenders are in qualifier number 2. We'll see them out in the next race. Our pole sitter in this one, he's had some challenges.
10th place in points and a lot of troubles have snake bit him and kept him.
French and Giberson get together. Mike Giberson goes spinning down the front stretch in front of the entire field.
And the pinball gets things turned around, and we stay green with Wade Thorne out in front over Jason Tolton. Then it's Lubeck and Elslager door to door.
You know, every night this year, Wade Thorne has probably been one of the top 2 or 3 fastest cars. So for him to be 10th in points is a lot further down the line than we might have expected.
Nose to tail they run amongst the top 6. Then you see a battle for 7th as French will now work around Kylie Dixon in the 9K. These qualifiers will take 10 cars each. We will see a B main tonight in all 4 divisions.
Right now 10th is Richard Hadler in the 60 machine, just ahead of Sean Taylor.
Wade Thorne holding on to the lead over Jason Tolton. Jeff Elslager, what a year it's been for the 11E, riding in that 3rd spot. Finally got to victory lane, couple of wins this year. And right now, running 4th place in points, kind of out of that championship contention, but he's right there setting up ready for next year.
Oh, for sure, and you can end the season on a high note, maybe get a win, a solid run in the points. Tristan De Silva to the inside, down the back straightaway. He's looking to move himself into the top 5. French right behind him after that opening lap contact. French making a nice comeback in the 54.
Top 3 running away as there's a good battle going on for the 4th spot between De Silva and Lubeck in the 14. French is there with Tim DeBoer as well. And a good run here for Fabio Oliveri. Started 11th. He's caught the top 3. He's closing in on Elslager with 2 to go.
Closing in for sure. Look at this battle a little bit deeper. Tristan De Silva trying to hold off Tim DeBoer and Christopher French as they work off of turn 2. It'll be white flag, 1 more lap around, and I don't think the transfer spot is in contention. Richard Hadler with a big advantage over Nick Erskine in the 64.
White flag displayed to Wade Thorne, who's out in front. He does have a slower car in front, but the battle behind him waging on is probably going to help his cause. It's side by side for second. Elslager to the inside of Jason Tolton. Here they come to the checkered flag. Wade Thorne will roll out of the corner, and he'll pick up the heat race win, brought to you by V&R Recycling over Jason Tolton, Fabio Oliveri, and Jeff Elslager. Then it's Lubeck, De Silva, DeBoer, and French. Then Taylor and Hadler will complete the cars going to the A main. Everyone else will go to tonight's last chance qualifier.
Do you want me to tell you a story before you do this lineup or after?
Yeah, do it now.
Mike Evers is pulling onto the racetrack to participate in his 450th race here at Ohsweken Speedway.
That's impressive.
If you count heats, contests, and features. That's 207 nights of racing, 22 seasons, 449 races before tonight, 43 wins, 10 features, 26 heats, and 7 contests. And that's happened in 6 different cars. A Civic, 4 Preludes, and Bill Bago's Mustang number 330. Mike Evers has a spreadsheet for every night of racing he's ever competed in.
Hey, it's the way to do it. Keep track of it. And congratulations, Mike Evers, and he'll line up here in the top 5 as Graydon Lyons goes from the pole. He's from Cambridge in the 32L. Steve Miller from Paris in the 79 lines up second. There's Mike Evers in third with Nico Hansen to the outside from Beamsville in the 27. Starting 5th is Mason Anderson from St. Catharines in the 4A. And Ryan Hiller, no longer the point leader in the 21H. He's second place in points. He'll line up 6th in this qualifying heat. He's 1 point behind the leader, and we'll get to him in just a bit. Starting in the 7th spot from Smithville, 6X, Mike Sarantakos. He's only 11 points out, so we can't count him out yet either. 3rd in the standings, he's from Smithville. Ken Hare from Niagara Falls in the 5K starts in 8th. 9th is Kyle Rothwell from Welland in the 114. And there's the point leader, starting 10th, the 1A of Ashton Dickey from Brantford. Nick Erskine from Brantford in the 64 lines up 11th with Rick Van Cleef from Vineland in the 88. 12th. 13th is Alex Riley from St. Catharines in the 17. Rob Twitchett back tonight in the 69 from Cambridge. Mark Martin from Ohsweken in the 33. Crystal Souls from Hamilton, the 81D, starts 16th.
Field charges down through turns 1 and 2. How the heck did Ryan Hiller get to the lead already?
I don't know, but he's there, and he's on a mission here tonight. He's playing catch-up. As really, it's going to come down to feature time and who finishes ahead of who between these two drivers.
And that's exciting to come down to the final night and know it's basically a heads-up battle with 26 other cars around. While we have the opportunity, let's wish Kendall a happy birthday. Kendall Sarantakos.
Happy birthday, Kendall, as right now it's Ryan Hiller out in front over Ken Hare and Ashton Dickey. Then you've got Nico Hansen, who had a busy weekend last weekend. He ran here on Friday and both nights down at the Labor Day Classic at Brighton Speedway. Is now that battle for the top spot heats up. 3 cars there, all in a bunch.
What we've come to expect from these races, tight corners out there, not a lot of room to operate. There's tons of racetrack, but there's cars almost everywhere you want to put yours. Ryan Hiller out in front, Ashton Dickey looking to the inside, Ken Hare at the extreme bottom of the track. They charge down the back straightaway towards turn number 3.
Ken Hare in that 5 machine last week ended up being deemed the winner after Kyle Rothwell did not make it through tech. I'm trying to remember. I think it was a weight issue, was it not?
Yeah, it was 0.5% too much left side weight.
Kyle owned that, said we'll move on, and congratulations to Ken Hare, but he's right here now. He's caught these top 3.
Top 10 have pulled away from Steve Miller in that 79, so all the transfer cars really in one pack out there. With 3 laps to go, the top 4 in one group, the next 6 in that second group is Rothwell trying to thread the needle between Ken Hare and Ryan Hiller.
They give Hare a little shot going into corner number 3, a little bump as they roll off of corner 4. It'll be 2 laps left to go for Ashton Dickey, the point leader. Oh, wow. Troubles there with Mike Evers and Mason Anderson.
Oh, and Mike Evers falls out of a transfer spot, although that should get him 1 extra race if he gets to run the Consi. Slow down the back straightaway is Mike Evers. Good fortune for Steve Miller in the 79, but that's going to bring out a yellow flag. Good close racing here in the mini stocks. Race number 450 for Mike Evers will not go down on his spreadsheet as a successful one. His racing career started in off-road vehicles 50 years ago, 1973.
That's before you and me.
It is so.
How about Rick Van Cleef tonight, driving Steve Conway's 88. Good to see Steve is finally on the mend.
I think that might have locked up his hard luck award.
Yeah.
Getting the car back out for one night, spent nearly a month in the hospital. He's got my vote, Greg.
Yeah, that's grit and determination there. Here we go, back to the green flag with one lap to settle it. The point leader, Ashton Dickey in the 1A. Brings him down the front stretch with Rothwell to his inside.
I believe it'll be a green-white checkered. I don't think that was a feature-only rule, but we'll have to look to see what flag Dave's got. Yeah, it's a white flag in his hand. The pack charges down into turn 3.
Now, I know Ashton Dickey is racing tonight for a championship, but Kyle Rothwell in that 114, he's racing for redemption and coming back and saying, you know what, I still could have won that race, and here he is. He's come from a bit of a ways to get up there into the lead position. Started 9th.
Steve Miller holds down the 10th spot. Rick Van Cleef right behind him trying to get in. Checkered flag in the air. It's going to be Rothwell, Ashton, Alex Riley, Ryan Hiller, Hare, Hansen, Erskine, Sarantakos, Anderson, and Steve Miller making it to the show. Headed to the B main, it'll be Rick Van Cleef, Twitchett, Graydon Lyons, Mark Martin, Crystal Sewells, and Mike Evers. Let's head down to Clinton Jeffrey, who's in turn number 3 for a Case IH track report.
Thanks, Adam. Down here it is a bit soupy today. You can see things are really greasy still down here on the bottom. A lots of able to move the mud around, but as you get up here, a lot more bitey, as we say. As you get up to the top, this is the most traction this track has had all summer long. We'll have to watch how it goes tonight. They've really done a good job to block it down and pack it in to make sure we don't get a cushion here tonight, or at least one that would upset these cars. But this bottom lane is going to come in. This will be the spot to be later tonight, guys.
You heard it right there. Different track tonight than we've seen most of this season. Let's give you the starting lineup for heat race number 1 in the Strickland's Brantford Chevrolet Crate Sprints. On the pole from Ohsweken, the 99 is Joshua Hill. To his outside, celebrated a career best second place finish last week at Brighton. From Ohsweken, the 77E is Ashton Van Every. Third from St. Thomas, the 52 is Jesse Costa. Fourth from Smithville, the 71C is John Cadman. Fifth from Thamesford, the 45 is Curtis Gartley. Sixth from Ohsweken, the MK8 is Matt Hill. Seventh from Ancaster, the 51 is Trevor Young. Eighth from Stony Creek, the 24A is AJ Lewis. Ninth from Mossley, the 3S is Austin Rose. 10th from Mount Hope, the 11W is Jeff Earl. And starting 11th from Hagersville, the 24K is Kiana Teal. Top 7 cars will qualify directly to the A main.
Remain under the caution flag, at least for another lap. What a story for Ashton Van Every. He was one happy camper after the feature on Sunday night down at Brighton Speedway with a career best finish.
He didn't just survive some late race restart.
Oh, no.
I can't remember if there was 1 or 2, but he pulled away.
Yep.
I mean, I think that kind of confidence is really going to transfer well for this young man. Of course, the Crate Sprints heat races are presented by Slack Lumber. While we have the moment, we should say B&R Recycling sponsored the mini stock heat races that we just enjoyed. Well, qualifiers, tomato, tomato, Greg. Wait for it. Green flag flies on heat race number 1. Into turn 1 they go. Ashton Van Every with a smooth line through the middle of the racetrack. He'll drag race with Hill down the backstretch. Wow, Jesse Costa crossing over John Cadman. He'll get a run on Van Every as well. Into turn number number 1. Lofty Rose up on the wheel on the high side.
They'll take the forward spot from Cadman. Here comes Gartley. He dives it down in deep where Clinton just said all that bite was. Doesn't get off the corner like he needs to, but you can see he can really grab a handful down there on the bottom, as right now it's Hill over Costa.
Well, Clint actually said the bite was up higher, still a little bit soupy down low, and that's what we saw with Gartley. Drove it down low and slid up the racetrack. Thankfully, the banking and the tacky clay caught him up a little higher on the track. Because look at that battle. 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, all right together as a tear-off just flew up across the front of the tower.
Jesse Costa second in this race. He is second place in the points. 4 markers behind Mac Demand coming into tonight. He'll close the gap here on Joshua Hill. Roll it off the corner another time, and it is now 5 on the board, 3 to go.
A.J. Lewis all sorts of sideways on the inside of John Cadman. Heads up the racetrack. That opens the door to Curtis Gartley. Now Gartley in the 45 and Lewis in the 24 going to race into turn 3. Just behind the 71 of Cadman. We've got 2 laps to go.
Joshua Hill having a fantastic qualifying heat run here. He comes off of corner number 4. Costa trying to find the line, but Hill's got all sorts of speed with a white flag out.
Off of turn number 4, Ashton Van Every. He doesn't know what's going on behind him, but they're racing like crazy, Cadman and Lewis. But up front, Hill gonna take this heat race win. Great race for him. Jesse Costa coming home second. Rose gonna finish third with 4th to Ashton Van Every, 5th to A.J. Lewis, 6th to Cadman. Curtis Gartley takes that 7th and final qualified spot. That means Trevor Young, Matt Hill, Jeff Earl, they're headed to the console.
Joshua Hill gives us a good reminder that tonight, in fact, in less than an hour, Season 3, Friday Night Thunder kicks off on APTN, and he picks up the heat race win with that logo on board. So make sure you, hopefully you got your PVR set. I know I have it set for every time that show's on, but Friday Night Thunder Season 3 kicks off tonight on APTN.
I forgot to set mine.
Mine's just on constant to record the series.
That's a good idea. Why didn't I just come over to your house and watch it?
I'll come over and set it up on yours.
Heat race number 2. On the pole from Ancaster, the 16X is Keegan Baker. Starting second from Salmon Arm, British Columbia. The name of that town is still under protest to me. Salmon don't have arms. In the 26, it's John Verney. Third from Dorchester, the 00 is Greg Smulders. 4th from Woodstock, the 29W is Tyler Ward. In 5th, it's the Iceman, Johnny Miller, driving the number 20 out of 6 Nations. Starting 6th from Wainfleet, the 72 is Tanner Podwinski. 7th from Rockwood, the 94 is Ryan Fraser. 8th from Georgetown, the 2M is Steve Murdoch, fresh off a win last weekend. 9th from Rockwood, the 74 is Rob Neely, and rounding out the field from Thamesford, the 14 is Larry Gledhill. Ten cars, 7 qualify.
Steve Murdoch finally found victory lane last Friday night. He comes in 3rd place in points with 73 markers back, so he's not in the title fight. But he's got that monkey off his back, and you wonder, will this open the floodgates, as sometimes happens when you get that first win?
Great launch by John Verney in the 26, and Greg, I think it certainly could. He's looking sporty right now down into turn number 3, racing with Smulders and Podwinski in the 72.
Whoa, Smulders goes up the track in corner 1, so Murdoch slips by him into the 4th spot. Good little fight right now for the 2nd spot. Tyler Ward and Keegan Baker, 2 drivers really coming into their own.
They certainly are. Ward up high, getting a good run off of turn number 2. He'll squeeze to the outside of Keegan Baker into 3. Keep it up on the cushion on the high side. Baker able to make plenty of speed down on the bottom, but not quite as much as Tyler Ward. He keeps taking that position back every time they hit the straightaway, but Baker able to drive deep into the turns.
Halfway home, 4 in, 4 to go. Out in front, it's all John Verney in the 26. Doing a great job out in front, and Ward now will clear Baker and get some distance on him down the backstretch as Murdoch tries to catch the top 3.
Look at this battle for the last transfer spot. Greg Smulders and Larry Gledhill both have qualified positions, but right behind them are Johnny Miller and Rob Neely. You know, they want to get in. Here goes Miller to the inside of Smulders.
Smulders let up a little. He had to tuck in behind, and that little break in the throttle allowed Johnny Miller to just keep on trucking. And now Miller has problems down that soupy stuff on the bottom, and Smulders gets back by him at the line.
Wow, Miller really caught that little bump into turn number 1, just about spun it around as John Verney leads the way under the white flag. Steve Murdoch just had a moment battling with Keegan Baker. He's able to get that car back in line and carry on.
Across the line first, it's going to be John Verney over Tyler Ward. At the line for third, it's going to be Keegan Baker over Steve Murdoch and Podwinski, Gledhill, and Miller at the line, followed by Neely, Fraser, and Smulders, who had problems there on that last lap. He was right in the thick of it for the final transfer spot, but bobbled there and ends up at the tail. So John Verney with a big heat race win.
Greg, I was going to say during that pace lap, could you pick the 3 cars that aren't going to qualify?
No, that was, yeah, you're right. That I never really looked at it through the field, but boy, that would have been a tough pick going into it for sure.
Heat race number 3 will come at us like this. On the pole from Listowel, the 97 is Sheldon Bender. Second from Cortland, the 5 is Tom Pellizzari. In third, it's the highlight man, Mac DeMann, in the number 4 from Mississauga. Fourth from Ohsweken, the 28T is Cam Thompson. Fifth from St. George, the 69K is Ken Hamilton. Sixth from Brantford, the 88 is Lance Erskine. Seventh from Waynfleet, the BS39 is Brett Stratford. Eighth from Grimsby, the 20L is Trayton Lapsevich. Ninth from Kitchener, the 2 is Travis Hofstetter. And starting 10th from Simcoe, the 14W is Broden Weiler. Mac DeMann is our points leader. He has a 4-point edge over Jesse Costa. 70-point advantage over Steve Murdoch. A little more than 70 points, in fact. So really, it's a 2-horse race in these crate sprints. Bender and Pellizzari on the front row. They're going to bring us to green up at turn number 4. Bender with a good launch on the inside. Trayton Lapsevich up off the racetrack in turn number 1. Loses a lot of ground to the field. Out in front, it's Bender ahead of Mac DeMann at the end of lap 1.
Pellizzari looks to the inside of the highlight man as they roll down into corner number 1, and Brett Stratford right there has trouble for Ken Hamilton up in corner number 2. He'll gather it up.
Brett Stratford up to the 3rd spot in that black and yellow BS39. Bender out in front, putting a gap between himself and Mac DeMann. You don't see that very often by anybody in this crate sprint class.
Pellizzari up in front of Cam Thompson. Thompson comes back down to the inside as they work it down into corner number 1. Top 3 have broken away, but this is the battle we're watching right now as Lance Erskine's right there behind them with Travis Hofstetter.
Cam Thompson drove a great turn 1. Turn 2 did not go his way. That allowed Pellizzari to get a good run down the backstretch. Thompson will take that spot back on the front straightaway. The car seems to like it better up on the high side of the racetrack as Thompson trying to clear the Pellizzari machine once and for all. The top 3 have streaked away from this battle for 4th.
Great fight going on here. Trayton Lapsevich is in this as well, so 5 cars all duking it out here. Thompson beginning to pull away a little bit from Lance Erskine. Pellizzari behind the 88. Here comes Trayton Lapcevich working that outside line. He's learning more and more every lap.
Lapcevich has got himself up into a transfer position. He'll look to the outside of Pellizzari, down into 1 and 2. It looked like he wasn't quite sure where he wanted to go, then committed to the high side. White flag is out. One more lap. They're battling for the second spot.
Yeah, Stratford to the outside of the point leader, the highlight man, Mac the man, 3-car breakaway at the front. It's all Sheldon Bender as they work off of corner number 4. Bender is going to pick up the heat race win for the man and Stratford.
Coming home third, it'll be Cam Thompson. Oh, Trayton Lapcevich. Erskine fourth, fifth to Pellizzari, sixth to Hofstetter. Lapcevich finished 7th or 8th? 1, 2, 3.
7. Yeah, no, sorry.
Yeah, there's a glitch in the scoring.
Scoring.
Looks like Lapcevich will be headed to the B main. That's okay, more laps. When was the last time we entered the final night of racing without Dave Bailey as our points leader? It's been nearly 10 years since he was the champion, and coming into tonight, Ryan Beagle holds a 1-point advantage over Dave Bailey, a 6-point advantage over Kyle Wirt. Here's how they're going to line up for qualifier number 1 in the Middleport Mechanical Thunderstocks. On the pole from Ohsweken, the 93 is Melissa Miller. To her outside from Canfield, the 03 is George Grossel. Third from Brantford, the 13 is Casey Huffman. Fourth in the 25 from Hamilton is Ken Sargent. Starting fifth from Thorold, the 11 is Go Fast Teeple, and on the outside of row number 3 from Hagersville, the 8 is Ryan Dinning. Starting 7th, it's Mikey Bobby, Mike Thorne from Caledonia in the 55. 8th from Jerseyville, the 53 is Logan Schwedick. 9th from Hagersville, the 93K is Mike Klazinga, and 10th from Binbrook, the 427 is Tim Phelan. 11th from Hagersville, the 49 is Dave Bailey. 12th from Waynefleet, the 14 is Mitch Petta. 13th from Harley, the 37 is Rob Hoskins. And 14th from Dundas, the 24R is Rodney Rutherford. 15th from Blenheim, the 6X is Marshall Bellamy. And rounding out the field from London, the 76 is Jamie Googe. That's your starting lineup for qualifier number 1 in the Middleport Mechanical Thunderstocks. These heat races are sponsored by Hunsingers, your go-to business for plumbing, electrical, and heating in Haldeman, Norfolk, Six Nations, and surrounding areas.
Here we go with the first qualifier of the night for the Middleport Mechanical Thunderstocks. They thunder down into corner number 1 with Grossel out in front. And Grossel, I do believe, leading the Rookie of the Year standings right now in this division. Boy, they all bunched up down in 3. Bailey caught a piece of Thorne. Thorne backed up into the 24 of Rutherford. And this is a wild start to this one.
Lots going on out there as they're 4 wide up at turn number 2. Kenny Sargent to the inside. He'll try to take the lead from Grossel. Logan Schwedick to the inside of Grossel as Grossel trying to cross over Ken Sargent. That had a ripple effect for sure.
Ryan Dinning had to take evasive action. Now we've got a wheel cover flying off. I believe that's off of Schwedick's 53. Oh yeah, there is a ton of fluid there going into corner number 1. Mitch Petta, I believe, is, and he's still on the track.
And Mitch didn't get the memo that there's something coming out of that car.
Well, I'm assuming it came from him, but that car's been smoking since hot laps.
Smoking.
No, maybe not. Kind of looked like that trail of fluid went right up to where his car had rested. That's why maybe that was the problem.
See, and that's why we shouldn't assume. What an exciting night. 3 drivers in the battle, just 6 points between them. If Kyle Wirt can't beat Ryan Beagle and Dave Bailey, then it just comes down to whoever wins between Bailey and Beagle. So 2 of our divisions are as basic as you can get, a heads-up battle.
Just hope it's not a photo finish at the I'll just resign.
I do not engage.
Yeah. Ken Sargent at the front now. The 93 of Melissa Miller looks to be headed to the pit area. All right, coming back to the green flag at the Cargo Ease restart zone. Sargent and Grossel on the front row, Schwedick and Denning in row 2. Then it's Phelan and Bailey. Here we go, back under the green flag, and Mike Thorne gets a run down to the inside of Phelan.
We don't see very often Thunderstocks cling to the inside of the racetrack. We used to. But down in 1 and 2 on that restart, they were all single file around the bottom with a lot of speed. There was a couple of them working the high side, but they were nose to tail around the bottom. Problem for Grossel. He'll give up a few spots and then get back on the racetrack right in front of Go Fast Steeple.
So it's Sargent right now leading the way in the 25, but here comes Dave Bailey. He's got that transaxle 49 wound up on the outside line. See what he can do off of corner number 2. He'll edge ahead partway down the backstretch. It's Bailey, Sargent, Denning right now, your top 3 of the halfway point of this qualifier, the first of 2 for the Middleport Mechanical Thunderstocks.
Battle for the 6th spot has Mike Klazinga in that 93. Trying to hold off Smoky Tim Phelan in the 427, Rodney Rutherford in the 24, and Rob Hoskins in the 37. Great little 4-car battle going on there.
Ryan Denning running that outside line, trying to make some gains on the 25 of Ken Sargent. There we see Rodney Rutherford and Mike Klazinga door to door right behind Smoky Tim Phelan.
Man, Dave Bailey has just done cruise control out in front. That car is so smooth. Mike Thorne works up the outside of the racetrack. The top 4 to 5 actually have spread themselves out on the racetrack for side-by-side action as we reach the 2 to go point. Thought Dave was crossing those
That's
legs.
what I thought. Even Elliott thought that down there, so it wasn't just you. White flag this time around for Dave Bailey, and this is a statement here. You go in 1 point behind, and you just got to do what you can, and that's win. If you win, everything else doesn't matter.
Oh, you're absolutely right. Final time down the backstretch. Jamie Cooge just in front of Dave Bailey. He'll drive to the inside and clear that 76. Checkered flag in the air. Bailey going to take the win. Ken Sargent hangs on for second. Third goes to Ryan Denning. Fourth to Thorne. Then it's Schwedick. Phelan with a late race pass over Rutherford. Then Klazinga, Hoskins, Huffman, Teeple, and Grossel. Sometimes the words come out of my brain faster than my tongue can process them. Well, Clinton Jeffries at the other end of the racetrack now for a Case IH track report.
Thanks, Adam. Yeah, down here on the bottom, still a little bit soupy, but not as bad as this in 3 or 4. We got one little dip here, but if you guys know what we faced all summer, this little problem here is nothing. Looking right down here where it got really wild about a month ago, things are really smooth all the way to the top. The divot here in 1 has been super hard packed. They've dug it out quite a bit. And guys, right here we've got a little ripple, but this is nothing to write home about compared to what we had all year. We're going to have a fantastic championship style track tonight for these guys to finish off their season.
We certainly are. Great job by Ziegler and the crew. They went through some tough times this year to get us the racetrack we've got here tonight. Here's how the lineup for qualifier number 2. On the pole from Hamilton, the 43 is Kyle Andrus. Starting second from Tilbury, the 17W is Travis Whittle. Third from Caister Center, the 41 is Adam Plazik. Fourth from Canfield, the 32 is Mark Fawcett. Fifth from Caister Center, the 28 is Jim Lampman. Sixth out of Guelph, the 79 is Chris Hale. Seventh from Burlington, the 97 is Ron Logie. Eighth from Hagersville, the 23 is Trevor DeBoer. Ninth, celebrating a birthday and a wedding anniversary, from Welland, the 96-0 is John Overhole. Starting 10th, last week's feature winner in the 28D from Caister Center, it's Donnie Lampman. 11th from Ancaster, the 19 is Kyle Wirt. 12th from Ohsweken, the 21Z is Braden Burning. 13th from Victoria, it's the big dog, Ryan Beagle in the 84 RK. 14th from South Buxton, the 47J is Jody Mason. 15th from Ohsweken, the 69G is Brian General. And rounding out the field from Niagara Falls, the 26 is Keith Hain. Kyle Andrus in that 43. We'll come through the Cargo East restart zone, see the green flag in the air, and we are underway. Good launch for Fawcett.
Yeah, he didn't waste any time. Got a good launch off of corner 4, jumps to the early lead. Now they're 4 wide behind him. Andrus in the middle with Plazik. You got Jim Lampman down on the inside and Travis Whittle to the outside of this 4-car dance.
Jim Lampman able to get the power down and get a good run. Travis Whittle, what a nice comeback after getting overtaken on the high side going into 1. Actually, we're coming off of 4 to the start. Whittle hanging in there up on the high side, running in the 4th spot right now, but holding off Kyle Andrus as they race through 3 and 4.
Whittle's just impressed me all season long. This youngster's got a very bright future, and he's holding on right now as he had a left rear quarter panel full of Adam Plazik that time through 3 and 4, and they're still 4 wide. Now they're going to stack up into a little bit with the point leader getting tangled in that.
Well, 2 of our point contenders, Kyle Wirt and Ryan Beagle, get mixed up in that. Fawcett out in front all by his lonesome. Let's look for damage as they come off of turn 4. Everyone seems to be all right.
It's all Mark Fawcett out in front of this battle right now for second. Jim Lampman to the outside of Trevor DeBoer. Jim saying, you know what, Donnie got the win last Friday night. It's my turn now. He's showing some speed again here tonight. Both Lampman cars here in the back half of the season have really picked up speed and been up there and been part of the conversation when the race is over.
And they keep a busy schedule in the summer, racing 2-3 nights a week as we've got 1 around up in turn number 2. That's Hain in the 26. He'll get the car spun around just in front of the race leader and get back up to speed.
Fawcett clears Hain very easily. Now here comes this pack of 3 bearing down on Hain. DeBoer, Lampman, and now Chris Hale involved in this in the 79 as they work through corner 4 another time by.
I think Hain has a right rear tire going down. Looks awfully soft when it starts to jerk to the left there.
He's got a handful right now in that 26 car, as most everyone's gotten by him so far. Kyle Wirt now has worked his way up to being within striking distance of Chris Hale in the 79 in the 4th position. Wirt having a good time working through the field. Now Ryan Beagle gets past Adam Plazik, and he's behind Kyle Wirt.
2 laps to go for Fawcett in the 32. He's got half a straightaway over DeBoer. Jim Lampman hanging on to 3rd, but he's got company with Chris Hale. Kyle Wirt, Ryan Beagle closing in, and Adam Plazik is right there as well.
White flag will come out this time for Mark Fawcett. He made that big jump off the drop of the green flag and hasn't looked back. He's got 1 lap to go until he can pick up this heat race win. Trevor DeBoer has stretched the lead over Jim Lampman for that 2nd spot. Now Ryan Beagle all of a sudden has found himself up in the 4th spot.
Through turn number 4 for the final time is going to be Mark Fawcett for the win. Finishing second, Trevor DeBoer. Jim Lampman is not going to finish third. That's going to go to Ryan Beagle. Fifth to Kyle Wirt, Chris Hale sixth. Then it's Plazik, Lampman, Logie, and Kyle Andrus rounding out the top 10.
13th to third.
Travis Whittle got the 10th spot.
13 to third for Ryan Beagle, the point leader there.
That's an impressive run, and I think 10 cars transferred out of that, didn't they?
I believe so.
So that was a big pass for Travis Whittle.
Final group of cars to get ready for qualifying heats. The Cool Kids Ice and Water Core Pack Merchandising Sprint Cars, 3 qualifying heats in total. 8 laps will be the distance. Lining up on the pole out of Dade City, Florida in the 15 Double G, it's Garrett Green driving the Nitro 54 variety 15 GG. Eric Gledhill from Thamesford in the 7 lines up second. In the third spot from St. Williams in the 21, John Burbridge Jr. Starting in fourth from Brantford, the 49L, Lucas Smith. Starting in fifth, it's Aaron Turkey from Ohsweken in the 68, and also from Ohsweken, the 77T of Tyler Powis lines up in the 6th spot. 7th is Kevin Pauls from Dunville in the 46th. Lining up 8th out of Hamilton, the 19D, Alan Downey. Starting 9th from Scotland in the 47X, D-Dubs, Dylan Westbrook. And going off in the 10th spot from Beachville, car number 5, DJ Christie. Ready to go down in corner number 4. Welcome Garrett Green to Ohsweken Speedway. He'll start from the pole down in that Cargoese restart zone. And we are on it, the first of 3 qualifying heats.
It's a little bit hairy on the inside of 1 and 2, able to gather that car back in. And battle with Eric Gledhill down the backstretch. But Gledhill going to lead lap number 1. Green coming through second.
It'll be fun to watch DJ Christie and Dylan Westbrook both starting in that back row. They begin to start working through the field. Dylan Westbrook had a close call there with John Burbridge Jr.
He certainly did. Top 2 have opened up a gap on Lucas Smith, Tyler Powis, Aaron Turkey running 3rd, 4th, and 5th with Alan Downey right behind them. A couple of hot shoes, Westbrook and Christie struggling to get through traffic.
Christie trying to go to the outside of John Burbridge Jr. That not working just yet. Now he'll get a run at the line, and he'll get by the 21 is out in front. It's all Eric Gledhill over Garrett Green. Cross flags in the air.
Halfway through this one, Lucas Smith still sitting pretty in 3rd as we've got one off the racetrack. Is that Conium in the 46?
Pauls.
I'm sorry, Kevin Pauls. How many times I call him Conium?
Just once, I think.
No, it was at least another time.
I don't listen anyways. Garrett Green trying to track down Eric Gledhill, but he's doing a nice job for his first look at the Speedway, holding down the 2nd spot over Lucas Smith, who 1 year ago was claiming the championship in the crate sprint car division.
DJ Christie giving Dylan Westbrook fits as Westbrook goes by Alan Downey. Downey crosses him over and then just about clips the inside wall. That allows Christie to get by as the white flag flies.
Eric Gledhill has shown just this throughout the season. Scenes of exact speed, just quick and fast. And here he is. He's going to pick up the heat race win by a large margin over Garrett Green in the 2nd spot. Turkey makes the run on Smith. Smith to the outside. Oh, he grabs 3rd at the line. Wow. Oh, that's what he was doing last year, trying to get the title in the crate sprints.
Lucas Smith just doesn't know any better than to put that car where it needs to go. That was a battle for 3rd in a heat race.
That was crazy. I didn't think he was going to make it fit in there.
We need to put a heart rate monitor on that driver.
I'll bet you mine was going better than his was. Wow. What a pass by Lucas Smith for the 3rd spot.
Aaron Turkey thought he was coming off of turn 4 on the outside until someone went by between him and the wall.
Heat number 2 onto the Speedway. On the pole in this one from Binbrook in car number 9. The live wire, Liam Martin, his outside from Scotland, the 87X. Sean Evans lining up 3rd from Niagara Falls in the 70 is Bailey Hurd. And starting in the 4th spot got his first career win down at Brighton Speedway and picked up their mini-series championship on Sunday night. It's Darren Dryden from Freelton, the 12DD. Starting in 5th from Beamsville, the 88H of Josh Hansen. Ryan Turner from Dunnville. Second place in points coming into tonight. He'll line up in the 6th spot. Starting 7th, Derek Jonathan out of Lewiston, New York in the 81. Corey Turner from Tilsonburg in the 17X starts in 8th. And Holly Porter picked up a championship last night with the micro sprint. She'll start 9th. She's from Dorchester in car number 1. So for our regular Friday night fans wondering why Josh Hansen's back to the yellow numbers on the top wing, he had an upside down moment at Brighton Speedway on Saturday night and had to go back to the top wing, but the crew thrashed and got him back out on track for both features and for both races on Saturday and Sunday. So back to the old top wing.
And you got it all. You got all the stories.
E2 takes the green flag. 8 laps the distance in this one.
Martin out in front. Sean Evans right on his tail as they work into turn number 3. Evans down low. Liam up high. Sean Evans takes the lead, takes it to the end of lap number 1, and then Liam Martin swaps him a slide job.
Yeah, he went all out into corner 1, but you knew corner 2 wasn't going to work. That was pretty deep for Liam Martin there. And hey, he gave it a shot.
It's principle, Greg. You've got to make that move on principle.
He's trying to hold on to second right now to Bailey Hurd, who's having a good run right now in that 70 machine. We've documented him now with that GSR chassis. It was sponsored to him by Creative Edge. Steve Lyons and the folks at Creative Edge running 3rd right now ahead of Ryan Turner.
So Bailey Hurd, with support from Steve Lyons, is running between 2 cars that Steve Lyons owns part of.
Yeah, Liam in front, Ryan Turner behind. As it's all Sean Evans out in front right now.
Evans got that early launch out in front. He has walked away from the field. 5 laps complete as Liam Martin has to take evasive action to avoid the wall coming off of turn number 4. He didn't lift, but he turned the steering wheel a little harder.
Just a fancy little dance there off of 4 with 2 laps left to go. Evans, Martin, Hurd, Turner, and Dryden right now the top 5. Corey Turner trying to knock down that 5th spot, try and get it away from Dryden.
Bailey Hurd looking really good down on the inside in that number 70, battling for the 2nd spot with Liam Martin. No one going to contend with Sean Evans. He's just got to keep the car on the racetrack here. Down into turn number 3 for the final time. Sean Evans will see the checkered flag in the air. Who's going to take 2nd? Liam Martin from the high side. He'll take 2nd over Hurd, Turner, Dryden, Turner, Hansen, Porter, and Jonathan.
Sean Evans in the Instapanel Styes Tree Service number 87X picks up the heat race win. With 1 more qualifier still to come. The point leader will line up here in this 3rd and final qualifying heat. This will be the last heat of the evening before we go to B mains, and all 4 divisions will have B mains here tonight. Starting on the pole for this one, he was the 2019 winner of the Canadian Sprint Car Nationals. Out of Cowlsville, New York, the 52, the straight shooter, it's Scott Kruder. To the outside from Wilsonville in the 94X, it is Scott Hall. Scott Hall starts in 2nd. There you go. Starting 3rd from Burlington, the 46C, it's Ryan Conium. And from the 4th spot from Caister Center, car 11, Jamie Turner. Lining up in position number 5, the Ohsweken Flyer, Glenn Stiers in car number 0 to his outside. Downtown, Mitch Brown from Brantford in the number 10. Cobra Chuck Ebing lines up in the 7th spot. He's from Ontario, New York in the 45H. And starting in the 8th spot, there's the point leader. From St. Catharines in the 71, it's Mike Bowman. And going from the 9th spot, his first career win on Saturday night down at Brighton Speedway from Mount Bridges in the 45. It's Tricky Nicky Nick Sheridan.
Now remember, Jamie Turner had a puff of smoke at the end of his practice session. I notice he's relinquished his starting spot in the heat. He's starting from the tail instead of 4th place. So we'll keep an eye on this 11.
Yeah, some good speed over the weekend at Brighton Speedway, and hopefully this concern isn't a major one for Jamie, and he can have a solid run here tonight.
Wow, Scott Kruger got a little crowded there with Scott Hall going into turn number 1, and then Conium crowded with Scott Hall off of turn number 2.
Look at Nick Sheridan. Boy, when you're fast, you're fast. He is threading the needle right now, getting up there to battling with Stiers and Bowman.
My goodness. You don't normally thread the needle between two very fast race cars, but Nick Sheridan up on the wheel to start that one. Looking for that Ackland Insurance bonus money.
Up to the 3rd spot, started in 9th. He was still back there, hanging back in that position because Jamie Turner lined up in the row to the outside of him. And here he is going for that 2nd spot with Mike Bowman. Bowman started in the 8th spot.
They both went around Ryan Conium. Conium got off the racetrack there between 3 and 4, and Bowman, I thought he might have had a problem between 3 and 4. That car slowed down quite a bit.
Boy, when you're hot, you're hot. Nick Sheridan found speed on Saturday and Sunday at Brighton, and he thought he was going to win it on Sunday. He had a lot of confidence. That's what he's racing with right now.
And confidence is worth so much to a young race car driver. Look at Ryan Conium down there making a move on Bowman on the back straightaway. It'll be 2 laps to go.
Yeah, this is good to see for Ryan Conium. This is what we expect of the driver of the 46C. To the outside of Bowman, the challenge at the front as well, as Nick Sheridan has caught the straight shooter.
Sheridan to the inside of Kruger as the white flag comes out. Kruger will lead that lap, but only by a hair.
This is where Nick was getting it done at Brighton, is off of corner 4, and it just worked for him that time to propel him ahead of Scott Kruger. They work off the 4th corner from last to first. Sheridan gets the win.
And that's just not done very often.
Wow, 9th to 1st for Nick Sheridan. I think I might know who the Top Gun Award winner will be here tonight at Ohsweken Speedway. We'll take a quick break here on G-Force TV and be back. B-Main's coming up shortly.
Early man discovered fire, but Quick Quick perfected fire. Quick Quick is the only fire starter that guarantees to start your campfire, wood stove, or fireplace without the need for kindling or paper. Find your nearest Quick Quick retailer at quickquick.com.
Tiffany Gate Fresh Gourmet. Our savory pasticides can be prepared any way you like. Serve warm or chilled, as a main or as a side. Tiffany Gate Fresh Gourmet. Create your way to great taste.
When your dream car becomes a nightmare, leaving you frustrated, stranded, and broke, you say,
"Goodbye, you piece of shit. Let's take it to TKC."
What? You gotta pee?
TKC!
Let's take this piece of shit to TKC Metal Recycling. They pay cash for scrap cars.
Yahoo!
TKC will recycle your piece of car. Got a piece of car? Visit TKC Metal Recycling, 20 Cushman Road, St. Catharines.
Introducing the Fleet lineup by CargoEase. Our commercial and Titan Series slide come with weight capacities of 1,500 to 3,000 pounds and features HDPE Ultra Ply Deck, a 1/4-inch rubber mat, 8-inch aluminum side rails, a patented spring release T-handle, and L-hook fasteners. This is the CargoEase Fleet lineup.
Back live at Ohsweken Speedway with the first B-Main of the evening. It's for the HRW Automotive Mini Stocks, and here's how they'll line up. Doug Erskine on the pole in the 64E with Rick Van Cleef on the outside in the Steve Conway 88. Spencer Riddle out of Caledonia in the 84 will start in 3rd. 4th, Rob Twitchett in the 69. 5th, Kylie Dixon in the 9K with Graydon Lyons in the 32L lining up 6th. 7th will be John Cote in the 14 with Mark Martin in the 33 starting 8th. 9th, the pinball Mike Giberson in the 11, and Crystal Souls will start 10th in the 81D. Then Tylen Hill in the 555 starts 11th, and Mike Evers, did he make the call? No.
He did not.
And the 265 was to go in the 12th spot.
Doug Erskine and Rick Van Cleef going to drag race down the back straightaway. The top 4 have opened a bit of a gap over 5th and 6th and the rest of the field.
Top 8 transferring. At least that's what we're seeing on the scoring lineup. Top 8 to the A main tonight.
I believe it.
Rick Van Cleef ahead right now of Doug Erskine. Look at Rob Twitchett.
To the outside of Nick Clark goes Rob Twitchett. He has not raced here since, I don't think he's raced on dirt since before the pandemic.
Good to see him back.
It really is.
He likes you for some reason.
I have Rob to thank for my current employment.
He's hammering down right now in that 4th spot with Van Cleef out in front in the 88. And Riddle, Erskine, and Twitchett right now the top 4. And then the other 4 cars are the next transfer bunch. We see them in the top of the split screen.
Oh, geez, I've been calling Rydell by the Nick Clark on the Dagnabbit.
And I've been saying Riddle. I've heard that last name pronounced about 3 different ways, and I should have stopped and talked to Spencer.
I love Riddles.
Riddle, Rydell.
Holding a pretty wheel there in the 2nd spot. Keeping Doug Erskine behind him. Rob Twitchett losing a little bit of ground. But out front, it's all Rick Van Cleef. And Stephen Conway's Glenn Steyer's Racing sponsored number 88 coming under the white flag. How about Kylie Dixon in that 9K racing in the 5th spot? Holding back Mike Giverson and Graydon Lyons. Good job.
She has picked up a lot of speed throughout the year and really progressed. And good to see as a checkered flag comes out. 8 will go to the A main, starting with Van Cleef, then Riddell, 64 of Erskine, then Twitchett, Dixon, the pinball, Mike Giverson, Lyons, and the 14 of John Cote. So Tylen Hill, Martin, and Crystal Souls, as well as Mike Evers, will be done for the evening. One more B main to go before our intermission. We'll get a chance to talk with our Nathan Ackland Top Gun Award winners here tonight.
And the Strickland's Brantford Chevrolet Crate Sprint Car B main will line up like this. On the pole from Ancaster, the 51 is Trevor Young. 2nd from Rockwood, the 74 is Rob Neely. 3rd from Grimsby, the 20L is Trayton Lapsevich. 4th from Ohsweken, the MK8 is Matt Hill. 5th from Rockwood, the 94 is Ryan Fraser. 6th from St. George, the 69K is Ken Hamilton. 7th in the 11W out of Mount Hope is Jeff Earl. 8th from Dorchester, the 00 is Greg Smulders. 9th from Simcoe with the 14B is Broden Weiler. And rounding out the field from Hagersville, the 24K is Kiana Teal.
Get Mark Martin pushed off the high side of corner number 2 there in his number 33 mini stock. White flag out for this B main for crate sprints. Top 7 to move on. Everyone else done for the evening.
4 spots. There's some good cars out there on the racetrack. The race you never want to be in. Anything goes wrong, it can ruin your whole night.
Green is out. Rob Neely will bolt ahead there as they go down into corner number 1. Trevor Young had a handful. Then it's 3 wide for a moment with Hill and Fraser and Lapsevich.
Trevor Young did a great job of handling that situation without scrubbing off all the speed he had in that car. Able to hang on to that 2nd spot. That could have gone a whole lot worse.
Lapsevich looks to the inside of Matt Hill as they go down the back stretch into corner number 3. He'll pick up that 3rd spot. It's Neely, Young, Lapsevich now.
Hill hanging on to the final transfer, but Ryan Fraser and Smulders right behind. Fraser gets loose in 1. Smulders goes by on the inside. He'll try to close in from that 5th spot.
Rob Neely at the line is your leader over Young. Lapsevich holding pretty wheel right now in that third position. Matt Hill giving chase right behind him. And it's Smulders, Fraser, and I believe Ken Hamilton is actually the final transfer car. I've got top 7 transferring. Is that correct with you?
I don't know. I thought you said top 4.
No. Top 7.
Okay. I prefer 7. Yeah, 28 cars, 7 from each of the heat, 7 from the heat.
And 7 laps left to go.
That would put... Oh, I'm missing Rob Neely. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Jeff Earl.
Yeah, Jeff Earl on the bubble.
Trying to close in.
Well, Rob Neely's taking this B main seriously. He has pulled away, and he's catching the back end of the pack here. That's a car that's been on the podium this year in that Radio Shuttle 74 during one of our midweek shows.
Ken Hamilton just had a bad push through 1 and 2. Jeff Earl wasn't able to capitalize. It looks like the track's getting a little bit slicker than Earl is comfortable hanging on to. He's trying to run around the bottom of the racetrack. Look at these drivers really having problems with grip as Rob Neely coming to put a lap on Broden Weiler in the 14.
Rob Neely, of course, not knowing where the rest of the pack is. He just knows.
Oh, trouble in turn 2. That's Ryan Fraser. He was a qualified car.
So he'll still have 3 laps left to try and work his way back up there. Everything seems okay.
Running in the 5th spot, he had just run his fastest lap of the race.
So Weiler and Earl will get their lap back. They'll come back around.
Just a 1-car spin for Ryan Fraser, all by himself there between 3 and 4. Rob Neely, what a lead he had built up. So now once they sort this order out, it should put Jeff Earl into a transfer spot with Broden Weiler. 1 spot out, and then Ryan Fraser 2 spots out when they get to the restart.
You know, this might have been the best thing for Rob Neely. I was about to say he's pushing as hard as he can because he really doesn't know how close the rest of the pack is to him. And he was there in that 3-car pack at the back. Now he knows where he's at. He's at the front. There's 3 laps left, and if he's able to pull away like he did obviously last time, then he should be golden here in that 74.
Well, here's where he will appreciate single file restarts and having to stay single file until they get to the cone. That's always benefit to the race leader. But I'm interested to see what's going to happen with Ken Hamilton in the 69. You know Ryan Fraser's going to make a bold move. Where's Jeff Earl wind up in that number 11? We're going to find out 3 laps to go in this B main.
Rob Neely will set the pace down the Cargo East restart zone. We're back on it. Single file past the cone on the front stretch. Fraser had to wait till he got past that cone. Now he can start the charge.
Yeah, Jeff Earl did not get a great restart there. As Ryan Fraser goes by on the inside, not a big surprise. Ken Hamilton, though, got a good restart there. Right up with the pack where he wants to be. He's going to make this difficult on Fraser.
It's all Rob Neely again. He has got a quick car here tonight with Young in the 2nd spot. Hill holding back. Trayton Lapsevich. White flag is out. Smulders having a good solid run right now in 5th.
Last time around, so Fraser is into a transfer spot. All everyone has to do in the top 7 is not spin out. Ken Hamilton with a bad push there in 1 and 2. But Rob Neely going to take this checkered flag. Trevor Young is going to the dance. So is Hill, Smulder, Lapsevich, Fraser, and Hamilton.
Earl and Weiler will be done for the evening, but you know what? For those 2 drivers, 12 laps, a lot more experience gained.
Great seat time. That's what it's all about.
So we'll take a quick break, and we'll be back as we go to a brief intermission here at Ohsweken Speedway on Epic RACEWEAR Championship Night.
Introducing the Fleet lineup by CargoEase. Our commercial and Titan Series slide come with weight capacities of 1,500 to 3,000 pounds and features HDPE Ultra Ply Deck, a 1/4-inch rubber mat, 8-inch aluminum side rails, a patented spring release T-handle, and L-hook fasteners. This is the CargoEase Fleet lineup.
Rev up your engines and get ready for some high-octane action. GeForce TV is your one-stop destination for all the best racing action across Ontario. With free live coverage of the ABC Series, Ohsweken Speedway, Southern Ontario Sprints, and much more. You won't miss a single moment of the excitement. Whether you're a die-hard fan or a casual viewer, GeForce TV has everything you need to stay up to date on the latest racing news and events. Head to our website at geforcetv.net and start watching today.
Tiffany Gate Fresh Gourmet. Our savory potato sides can be prepared any way you like. Serve warm or chilled, as a main or as a side. Tiffany Gate Fresh Gourmet. Create your way to great taste.
Ohsweken Speedway Racing on GeForce TV is brought to you by Mighty Wipes, the strongest wipe around. And by NTN, delivering the ultimate bearing experience. Back live at Ohsweken Speedway as Tiffany Gate Fresh Gourmet presents Friday Night Excitement, Epic RACEWEAR Championship Night. And our Nathan Ackland Top Gun Award winners. This guy went from the back to the front, Clint. What a run. When you're hot, you're hot.
Well, Nick, talk about waiting all season to show your cards. Last weekend at Brighton, you looked really good with a win and a second place. Tonight, you're the Top Gun Award winner and taking home Nate's money. Great start to your week, bud.
It's been awesome, Clinton. I mean, this last week and a half has been something a lot of people dream of. So really just thankful to be here. And if we had a really hooked up car last week, I've been trying some new things the last couple of weeks. And if we're as fast in the features as we were in the heat, I think we'll have something for them.
We make a lot about the track surface. What is it like from your perspective, Nick?
Tonight, she's awesome. It's got some moisture in spots, but there is some slick spots you got to watch out for, too. So if you can hit all the grippy spots, you can make a lot of speed and keep some speed up. So if we can do that, we'll be good.
All right, we'll watch for Nick Sheridan, one of the hardest working kids here in the sprint car deal. We've talked about him being a NASCAR crew chief funding his brother's ABC car, and a heck of a race car driver. Another young student on our pad here today is Austin Rose. Austin, you're our crate Top Gun Award winner. Anytime you can take your car owner's money is cool because Nathan owns the car. You've got been a great sponsor here for us for a few years now. But things going good for you, Austin. Anytime you can start as a Top Gun Award winner, it means your night's at least on the right track so far.
Yeah, definitely. It's always nice to give Nate's money right back to him. So I guess it's been a while since we've been up here, but it feels good to be back.
Wait a minute, you got to give Nathan his money back?
Wow, I've been using up tires. We went to Brighton. We ran 2 nights at Brighton this weekend, or last weekend.
I think I have to change that, guys. Nathan's money goes to the drivers from now. We'll wrestle it out for you. But thanks, Austin. Good luck tonight.
Can I thank my sponsors? I want to thank CarStar Brantford, Bobcat at Brantford, Black Onyx Construction, Tate's Automotive, Ackland Insurance, and anybody that I missed. Big Country Raw, they're a big one too, and Lone Wolf Fireworks.
There you have it. Austin Rose driving the 3RS here tonight. Guys, let's talk about, he can talk and he can thank his sponsors as long as it's not Nathan, right? Because he just gave him $100 to thank him.
I was going to say, that plug right there was worth the money that he just earned from Nathan, isn't it?
Yeah, we'll get stand up, you guys, for 1 second. Darren Dryden's coming down. We'll get set up with him. We're going to talk about him being the 360 champ at Brighton there last week.
Yeah, Darren Dryden got his first career win in a 360 down at Brighton Speedway back in August, and then he backs it up with the Lawns We Do 360 Sprint Car Series title down there, and what a great weekend of racing that was. That was a tough field to compete with, and Darren was right in it. He didn't just back his way into the championship either, Clint.
Darren, we're here talking about the Lawns We Do 360 Series at Brighton. You know, they had to step up and make their own 360 Series. You managed to grab the championship. That's always cool when you can do something like that in your rookie year. You know, just moving up to 360s, racing the best in the business here in Ontario to come out with the Lawns We Do 360 Championship Brighton Speedway is pretty cool.
Yeah, it definitely feels pretty good for our team being our rookie year. Definitely didn't expect that coming into it, but at the same time, we felt very comfortable running that track, and they do put on a great show. Definitely thankful for them to keep the series alive and keep us, showing up at Brighton. It's a great place where the East and the West get to battle, and we see some of the strongest car counts next to here.
Thanks, Darren. Good luck tonight. Darren Dryden, he's the Lawns We Do 360 champ from Brighton Speedway Park. We'll be right back live here on GeForce TV. 2 more B-mains to come, then 4 features on Championship Night as Epic RACEWEAR brings us tonight's program.
Tiffany Gate Fresh Gourmet. Our savory pasta sides can be prepared any way you like. Serve warm or chilled, as a main or as a side. Tiffany Gate Fresh Gourmet. Create your way to great taste.
Get ready to experience the NASCAR Pinty Series Power Hour. Join your host and wingman, Cam K, every Monday night at 7 p.m. on GeForce TV for an hour of non-stop excitement and in-depth analysis of the hottest racing series around. From the latest race highlights to expert analysis and insider commentary, you'll get an exclusive look at everything you need to know about the NASCAR Pinty Series. Tune in for the NASCAR Pinty Series Power Hour, the ultimate destination for race fans everywhere.
Early man discovered fire, but Quick perfected fire. Quick is the only fire starter that guarantees to start your campfire, wood stove, or fireplace without the need for kindling or paper. Find your nearest Quick retailer at quickquick.com.
It all started for us at the racetrack, from dirt to water. We have continued to keep the adrenaline and drive to make sure that we are always in the forefront. We are driven to give our customers the absolute best in service, products, and memories with your family. No matter what your passion is, whether it's on the water, in the dirt, on the snow, or on the road, we will always be here welcoming you over and over again through the doors here at Lockhart's. You're not just a customer here, you are part of our team.
You're so tasty.
Back live at Ohsweken Speedway as we are ready for the B main for the Middleport Mechanical Thunderstocks. 8 laps the distance. Go Fast T-Pole was scheduled to go from the pole, but I don't see him out there. Neither is Kyle Andrus, so it's going to be George Grossel and John Overholt on the front row. There's Kyle Andrus, a late arrival to the party in the 43. Jamie Googe is out there in the 76, but he'll be out of order, so that second row is going to be Melissa Miller, along with Jody Mason. And then you've got the 6 machine, Marshall Bellamy, with Braden Burning on the outside in the 21Z. Keith Haynes in the 26, and there's Jamie Googe in that 8th starting spot, and Kyle Andrus will bring up the tail. So a few cars not making the call here for this Thunderstock last chance qualifier. Top 8 transfer. So one car from those that showed up here for the B main will be done for the evening. All the rest will transfer. Grossel and Overholt right now on the front row. Miller back there in the 3rd spot. .360 B main still to come. Through the Cargo Ease restart zone will go. Last chance qualifier for the Middleport Mechanical Thunderstocks underway, and off they go. Down the front stretch, Grossel in that 03, the Rookie of the Year leader coming into tonight. Miller holding down the 2nd spot. Haynes goes around in the 26. And let's see if he can get that car rolling. Doesn't look like he's going to. We may be under the caution flag. Caution flag will come out with 1 on the board. It's Keith Haynes. Is he going to get this car rolling, or really did he? No, of course. He went to the Adam Ross School of chicane, trickery. There he goes around. Simple spin down there. But one car doesn't transfer, so I mean, that's the time to do it. You don't want to be a half a lap behind and this thing go green all the way. So
nope. Okay, getting the order sorted. That is quite the social affair. The the walk from the tower to the concession slash restroom. Why do they call it a restroom?
Yeah, there's no rest taking place in there.
Not really.
Well, no. Well, at home, yes. When you sit for too long and your legs go numb.
Man, Instagram's a killer. Just reel after reel. Oh, I got to send this to Greg.
All I have to do is send you a message that says, I can't walk, and you know what I've been doing for the last 20 minutes.
That's our common bond. Overholt goes around in turn number 2. He'll keep the 96-0 rolling, try to clear that inside wall. 3-point turn there in turn number 2. Now he'll go.
Well, we'll give him credit for sportsmanship there. And how about Jamie Googe up there? He's running in a qualifying spot, and that car has got some speed. They had issues in talking to his brother Tommy. They had some problems with the throttle, and I think over the last few weeks they've worked that out and definitely showing a lot more confidence and a lot more speed. And he's up there racing for position, which is good to see because it's been nothing but struggles for that team.
No, you're absolutely right. And John trouble in turn 2. Man, Overholt should have stayed on the racetrack.
Yeah.
Will stay green. Everybody able to keep on going halfway through this one.
Guys, Overholt has a flat left front, so that's why he went to the pits. He had a flat tire.
I didn't even know Clint was here tonight. Just kidding. We've had track.
Well, when you were missing, he was down talking. Where were you?
Oh, was it? Was that what
talking,
the noise was?
Talking to the fans. Your many followers. Grossel leads over Miller.
Good battle up there at the front. Grossel holding off Melissa Miller. They come to the track with a pair of 93s. One for Melissa, one for Mike Plazinga. There's 2 laps to go. Can Grossel hold off Melissa Miller to win this B main?
Some good laps for some of these drivers. Just more seat time, experience for them. They're all going to be in the A main.
And you're right about Jamie Gooch. I haven't seen him in any battles all season long.
He's got this figured out as the 6 goes around. Marshall Bellamy.
Bellamy thwarts the advance of Melissa Miller. I think just securing that victory for George Grossel in the 03.
And checkers out. Grossel's going to get the win over Miller. The battle for third is between Hain and Burning. Burning on the outside going to get the run and grab the spot over Hain. And then another good battle here between Andrus and Googe. And boy, Googe got him at the line.
I was ready to give it to Andrus.
Yeah. Top 5 in the B main for Jamie Googe over Andrus.
Good for him.
Yeah, good for him. Jody Mason, and then it was Marshall Bellamy completing the running orders. We get ready for the B main for the Cool Kids Ice and Water Core Pack Merchandising 360 Sprint Cars. 10 cars scheduled to come out for this one. 12 laps, top 6 to transfer, so 4 will have to load up and go home for the night. Boy, you look at this B main, Adam. I don't know. I mean, these are all drivers you could easily expect to see in an A main. There's no one here that you're thinking, okay, I could see that they may not make it. That's how stout this field has become. Starting on the pole from Beachville in car number 5 is DJ Christie alongside from Beamsville, the 88H. That's Josh Hansen. Starting in third, we don't see him in a B main very often. From Brantford downtown, Mitch Brown in car 10. And Alan Downey from Hamilton, the 19D, lines up in fourth. Holly Porter out of Dorchester in car 1. Starts in the 5th spot. Lining up 6th from Wilsonville in the 94X. It's Scott Hall.
There you go.
Starting 7th out of St. Williams in the 21, John Burbridge Jr. Derek Jonathan out of Lewiston, New York in the 81 lines up 8th. 9th will be Jamie Turner from Caister Center in the 11. And Kevin Pauls from Dunville in the 46. Starts in 10th.
Greg, is it bad that every time I hear, even now when I read Scott Hall's name off the page, I hear in the back of it, hey yo, hey yo.
That is not bad. That is tradition. the great Razor Ramon.
Adam has to have some sort of purpose. Green flag is out. DJ Christie leads him down into corner one. Here comes Hansen around the outside. They'll go wheel to wheel down the backstretch.
Side by side into turn number 3. Christie down low, and Hansen doing his best to keep him down there. Hansen will lead the way at lap 1.
Hansen edging ahead. Good battle behind them for the third spot with Mitch Brown and Alan Downey as well. As again, Hansen leads into the corner. DJ gets a good run. This time he'll cut right up in front of the J&E Recovery 88H.
Hansen going to follow him down into turn number 1. Alan Downey hanging on to third. Mitch Brown right behind him. Holly Porter with her own piece of real estate there in the 5th spot. Then we got a 5-car train from 6th all the way back to the end of the field.
DJ Christie setting sail down the backstretch. This youngster with a bright future. Don't see him in a lot of B mains either. He's been good since getting behind the wheel of the sprint cars, and here he is leading the way right now. Mitch Brown having a good battle back and forth with Holly Porter right behind Alan Downey.
Scott Hall is pulled away from the tail of the field. The battle's going on there. Has his own piece of real estate. Derek Jonathan trying to reel him in. Out in front, though, DJ Christie all by himself. As we reach the halfway point, 6 laps in, 6 laps to go.
DJ Christie. Oh, troubles for Josh Hansen. He is going to the pit area.
Oh, what an unfortunate turn of events for Josh Hansen. Running
7th
well inside.
Points.
Yep, 7th in points, running in a transfer spot. And something has gone amiss.
Been a rough week for the Hansen team after what happened at Brighton. So they'll end their night with its DJ Christie out in front now with 4 laps left to go in this B main. He's beginning to see the back end of the field. And a good battle right now going on with Scott Hall, Kevin Pauls, Derek Jonathan, the wily veteran, with 2 of the newer drivers in this division.
That's a great battle going on back there. Just watching these 3, 2 of them learning their racecraft as they go. And I shouldn't say that. They've all run quite a few races, but we don't often see them embroiled in such a tight battle as we've got 2 laps to go.
White flag this time around for DJ Christie as he goes through 3 and 4. He's gotten by John Burbridge Jr. 1 to go for the driver to Beachville in car number 5.
He'll work the bottom of the racetrack. Jamie Turner just ahead of him. Not really a factor for Christie. He'll drive deep into 3 and 4. Clear the Turner number 11, and he'll take the checkered flag. DJ Christie comes home with the win. Alan Downey going to finish 2nd ahead of Mitch Brown and Holly Porter. Then it'll be Kevin Pauls, Derek Jonathan, and Scott Hall.
Jamie Turner will get the 8th spot. John Burbridge 9th, and Josh Hansen ends up in the 10th positions. Derek Jonathan cashes in on the final transfer spot, and Derek's one of those guys who's been around a long time. My dad was actually talking to him recently. He says, all the guys I used to race with around here are pretty much not racing anymore. Like Glenn Stiers would be kind of the one from Derek's generation back with the SOS when things were kicking off with sprint cars around here, but Derek's one of the old guard, but still getting it done with the young guys.
No, for sure. You mentioned earlier on that George Grossel leading the way for rookie points in the Thunderstocks. I think Travis Whittle is leading the way.
You might be correct.
And we got
I thought I saw that somewhere else, but
because Travis's dad sent a message, and I'm thinking, well, maybe there's something I don't know, but I think it's Travis Whittle.
You could be correct. I saw his name mentioned, but I think I may have got that in the wrong order is the problem. And I do that a lot. One's to watch. Here's the standings coming into tonight. Ashton Dickey for the mini stocks leads by 1 point over Mike Sirantakis. Jeff Elslager and Tristan De Silva rounded the top 5, but right now it's a 3-car race really to watch here in this feature. Takes some big things to happen for Jeff Elslager to have a shot here, but Nonetheless, here's the starting lineup for tonight's 20-lap main event for the HRW Automotive Mini Stocks. Lining up on the pole out of Waterford, car number 4, it's Wade Thorne. To his outside from Paris, the 79, Steve Miller. Third starting spot belongs to Jason Tolton from Guelph in car number 1, and Nico Hansen from Beamsville in the 27 starts in 4th. Lining up 5th from Port Colborne, the 14L is John Lubick with Mason Anderson to his outside, and the 6th spot in the 4A. Starting 7th, Christopher French from Stratford in the 54, lines up 7th. Starting 8th is Ryan Hiller, 2nd place in points. He's from New Hamburg in that 21H. Starting at 9th, 3rd place in points, make that 4th place in points, Jeff Elsliger from Linden in the 11E. Mike Sarantakos, there's the 3rd place driver from Smithville in the 6X. He'll line up 10th. Tim DeBoer from York in car number 9 will start in the 11th spot with Ken Hare starting in the 12th spot. He was last week's winner from Niagara Falls in the 5K. Tristan De Silva from Waterdown, the 01, starts 13th with Kyle Rothwell starting in the 14th position. He's in car number 114. Starting 15th from Burlington, the 76 is Sean Taylor, and the point leader starts in the 16th spot. He's got a lot of work to do. He's from Brantford in car number 1A, Ashton Dickey. 17th spot, Fabio Oliveri with a win this year. He's from Ancaster in the 16th. Starting 18th is Nick Erskine from Brantford in the 64. Back in row number 10 on the inside from St. Catharines, the 17 of Alex Riley with a couple of wins this year. And Richard Hadler in the 60 from Thorold lines up 20th. 21st and Steve Conway's 88 tonight from Vineland. It's Rick Van Cleef. Spencer Riddle out of Caledonia in the 84 lines up 22nd. Doug Erskine from Brantford, the 64E. He'll start 23rd. Rob Twitchett from Cambridge in the 69 is 24th. 25th is Kylie Dixon from Brantford, the 9K. The pinball, Mike Giverson from Caledonia in the 11 starts 26th. Braden Lyons out of Cambridge, the 32L starts 27th. John Cote in the 14 starts in the 28th and final position.
I love listening to Doug Leonard. It's like a paint by numbers.
So the field all stacked up and ready to go. Fans, these drivers have put on some great racing for you here in 2023. The points championship comes down to tonight, so grab something, get out your phone, maybe turn on the flashlight, grab your hat, something, wave these drivers on, 28 strong. They are 4 wide and fancy for you, the fans. This is the HRW Automotive Mini Stocks.
A full season of battles comes down to this here tonight. Ashton Dickey, Ryan Hiller. Hiller with a much friendlier starting spot in that 21, but the reason being he hasn't had the success recently that Ashton Dickey has had.
And after all said and done, 1 point. It's hard to believe, isn't it?
No, because we've got that in 2 divisions, and divisions that are full of cars. That's what's unreal. We start 28 of these darn things every night.
And this is where, at the end of the night, one driver's going to think, where did I lose points throughout the year? This is a night where you can win a championship, but there's been several nights where championships can be won. And tonight, these drivers, they're going to be running the race within the race. Ashton Dickey knows, I just need to finish ahead of Hiller and Sarantakos, and it's done.
I think no matter who you are in the points battle, you've got to be thinking, get to the front.
Yeah.
Win this race. There's less trouble at the very front than there is in the middle. We're about to find out, though. Wade Thorne on the inside of row number 1. He'll set the pace through the cargo ease restart zone to fire things off.
And off they roll down the front stretch. Wade Thorne in that number 4 machine leads the way as they all fan out into the corner. 3-4 wide through the pack.
Ashton Dickey up through the middle in that 1A, but the C's kind of parted in front of them. It went well through 1 and 2. Off of 3 and 4, Tim DeBoer gets sideways right in front of him, but Ashton Dickey working his way towards the top 10. Meanwhile, Ryan Hiller in that 21 on the outside of a 3 or 4 wide battle. Getting roughed up with Mason Anderson.
Yeah, 3 wide back there for that 4th position. Ryan Hiller, second place in points on that outside. He had a handful there off of corner 4. Ohsweken right behind him. 2 on the board, 18 to go.
Out in front, Wade Thorne and Nico Hansen running 1-2. Jeff Ohsweken getting squirrely there with DeBoer and Mason Anderson. That's happening right in front of Ryan Hiller in the 21.
Wow, it's a lot of bumping and banging right around the point leader. He's right in the middle of this pack. Dangerous place to be right now. He can see Hiller and Sarantakos directly in front of him. He's right there behind Sarantakos in the 6X.
On one hand, it's dangerous. On the other hand, he's got to go. Kyle Rothwell up off the end of the racetrack in turn number 3. That 114 comes to rest.
And I believe that's going to put us under the caution flag. Rothwell has not moved. And there goes the caution flag with Wade Thorne out in front.
Ryan Hiller started in the 8th spot. He's running in the 8th spot. Ashton Dickey started 16th. And he is running 14th. That's how tough it is to make moves out here.
The hard part has to be telling yourself, I'm not going to race any different than I did all year. It's easy to say that, but boy.
When you change your approach, that's when unexpected things happen because you're racing in a way you haven't raced all year long. That's why it's almost a benefit to be this close coming into the final night because you've got to race hard. You've got to go for it. You've got to work your way to the front. If you need advice, ask Lucas Smith. He'll tell you.
Yeah.
Take chances.
Yep.
Well, Kyle, you've been fast here. Looks like our left front is the problem now.
Yeah, it was my bad. I stuck my nose in a hole that probably shouldn't have been sticking my nose in this early, but yeah, shit happens. At least I know the car's fast. This is a great track, and I love coming here every week.
It's been a couple wild weeks for Kyle Rothwell, guys. If you recall, he was the first one in victory lane last week, but he was left side weight, had half a pound too much and saw it go away. Kyle gave kudos to the tech crew and said they do a great job with the black and white tech book here. I'm going to come back stronger than ever because I want that Ohsweken win. Not tonight, though, guys.
No, certainly not with that left front. And, yeah, that was... That was real pro by Kyle Rothwell last week on social media after being deemed not legal across with the weight issue and
not saying, hey, my scales at home say this, just owned it. I'll tell you what, over 120 cars in the pits, full heat races, full consies, and we were feature racing by 9 o'clock. Anything could happen from here. But that's impressive, you know, to Doug Leonard, to the drivers, like everybody involved being ready, being on the line. Folks, if you've noticed the crowds are getting bigger and bigger here at Ohsweken, last week's crowd was phenomenal. All those things factor into it.
Yeah, they do. When you know you're not going to be here all night, late into the evening. And yeah, last week's show was a testimony of that. Here tonight, another great crowd and car count been phenomenal. As you were talking about all the people that work so hard to make these shows go so smooth, I thought, boy, we really don't do anything, you and I, do
Nothing. We have no productive use here at the racetrack.
We just talk.
I'm surprised we get such good seats. Although when I was outside for the start of the B main for the Thunderstocks, making my way back up, I thought, man, I missed that.
Yeah. I did earlier this year, just being down by the fence.
We're a little I mean, we have nothing to complain about. The view up here is fantastic. The company could be better, but being outside where you can smell it and really hear it.
Oh, I smell it and hear it here in the tower, but that's you. All right, let's do a quick fire it up, the sights and sounds of the HRW Automotive Mini Stocks as they come back to the green flag. Nervous moments, I'm sure, right now for the title contenders. Jeff Ohsweken, your new leader over Wade Thorne. What a breakout year it's been for the driver of the 11E with a couple of feature wins this year, up in the top 5 in the standings. He has an outside chance at doing something here, but the 3 title contenders would need to have some problems about now for him to have a chance at the title.
They're starting to work. Oh, Sean Taylor with a problem. The problem is Mason Anderson sliding completely sideways into turn 3.
Anderson, we watched that from the drone, got totally sideways, gathers it up. We stay under the green flag. This time that'll be 12 laps left to go for Ohsweken. And do you think the pressure's on? The top 3 are really not making their way towards the front.
Ryan Hiller is really struggling with the handle on that number 21. Is problem for Fabio Oliveri.
Boy. There couldn't have been much room for John Lubeck to get by Fabio there on the front stretch.
Lube being the key part of that. Lube up the side of that 16, I'm coming through.
Caution flag for Fabio Oliveri. Not sure what happened there, but boy, he's had a rough season as well. It did pick up a feature win, but if it's not in victory lane, it's been some sort of mishap for Fabio. Not sure what happened there.
Yeah, it really has been. And that 16, it sounded sick when it went by our position here.
And not the new age sick.
Yeah, the wrong kind
of
sick.
The old people sick.
Just like you're fat. Not the new kind. There is no pH when you're fat.
No, there isn't.
Oh, I can say that because I am also voluptuous.
Yeah, that's a word. So, right now, Sarantakos in the 9th spot, but he has a lot more points to gain. He's 11 behind Ryan Hiller right now. But he's got Ashton Dickey right on his back bumper, who sits in the 10th spot. And then you've got Ryan Hiller back in 12th. And this, I don't know as though this is necessarily just a tonight thing for Ryan Hiller, because last week it seemed like he struggled like this a bit.
Yeah, a little bit, as we had a replay of Sean Taylor and Mason Anderson. Let's have a look at Hiller and see if we can see any damage on the 21. Wow, the right front still looks clean.
It's almost like he's been fighting handling or something over the last couple of weeks, because that's where he ended up losing the point lead, was just last week. Now he'll line up behind Ashton Dickey, and I mean, as quick as one corner, he can be ahead of him, and now he's in the point lead. So,
yep.
Guys, let's also remember 5 extra laps for mini stocks, street stocks, and the crates tonight.
Back to the green flag with 12 laps left to go. Ohsweken's your leader. They'll bring them to the green, the Cargoese restart zone with Wade Thorne to the inside. And Wade Thorne in that 4-car start of the year, I would have said he was a title contender, but things have not gone his way this year.
They certainly have not. Good restart for Serentakos in the 6X. They're 3 wide for the lead into 3. Ken Hare on the inside, Thorne in the middle, Al Slager on the outside.
Coming into tonight, I kind of had a feeling like maybe this is Tim DeBoer's night, and he had one earlier this year. That was his to lose, and he lost it on the final corner. Good to see that number 9 running up there in the top 3.
Ashton Dickey keeping pace with Serentakos. Ryan Hiller got squeezed up by Sean Taylor there. He had to check up on the backstretch.
Halfway home, halfway to deciding the championship here for the HRW Automotive Mini Stocks. Ken Hare was awarded the win last Friday night after the Kyle Rothwell disqualification. He's up there door to door with Jeff L. Slager.
3 wide for third, 2 wide for the lead, just ahead of them. Then you go back to our championship contenders. Serentakos just ahead of Ashton Dickey. Hiller trying to close in, but he's about 5 cars behind right now with 8 laps to go this time. Graydon Lyons goes around in turn number 1. He has pointed the wrong direction. And we will go back to the yellow flag. That can't feel good.
I was thinking the exact same thing. It's going the yellow, right? And one driver we should make mention of is Dusty DeBoer, who was injured earlier on in the year and for all intents and purposes took him out of any sort of championship chase, and he's a former champion that's in this division that we haven't seen this year. So that kind of opened up things for Dusty and for the rest of the pack, but we hope Dusty's fully on the mend and we'll be back next year.
Just want to mention Bone Longboat. We had someone ask us on our Tuesday show what's up with Bone these days. Bone, he's in a bit of problems too. You know, he's recovering. He says he wished he was racing, but they found a tumor on his spine, and they're getting him ready for surgery too. So he says tell his fans he missed them too and wish him luck on his upcoming surgeries. Hoping to be back next summer. We wish Bone Longboat the best as he works on his spine this off-season, guys.
Definitely wish the best to Bone, and boy, he was fun to watch this year. Really, he really was becoming a contender.
He was becoming a contender. He had a great attitude. There were some fun interviews with him. If positive spirit could power a mini stock, he'd lead a lot of races. Yeah. We're going to double up the field, get them ready for action once again. Serentakos going to restart 7th. Ashton Dickey going to restart 9th. Ryan Hiller going to restart 14th. Just like Greg said at the last restart, anything can happen and often does in our mini stock races. So this is long from over.
Mike Serentakos isn't out of it yet. He's been ahead of both of them throughout this race. He just needs to be further ahead, especially from Ashton Van Every, Dickey, who's been right on his back bumper throughout this race. It's getting wild mid-pack. Oh, wow, right there in front of Hiller.
Erskine and Hansen getting together. Jason Tolton was in on that. Ryan Hiller was able to squirt through the middle. Picked up a couple of spots, but, whoa, trouble for Ashton Dickey.
Oh, my. Oh, and then he gets plowed into by John Lubeck.
Ashton Dickey has come to rest in turn number 1, our points leader.
Wow. And boy, my first thought was, if that was an issue where that car could have restarted, that hit at the end
might have finished it.
Yeah, that's
the way the smoke's coming up out from under the hood. I have a feeling Ashton Dickey is done.
Yeah, wow.
And I'll tell you, he's done such a good job this year of driving. Obviously, he was leading the points, but he's really put that car in good positions. He hadn't ruffled a lot of feathers. He just drove really well.
Well-spoken young man, and there you see The disappointment.
We see from the speed shot he was off the pace, knew he was dead in the water, and then Lubeck got there and plugged in.
Wow. Well, that changes things.
Clinton Jeffrey is down on the scene. He's going to assess the situation with Ashton, and hopefully we'll get a word.
Well, we'll get in here with Ashton Dickey. Ashton, what's the story here on the 1A?
Came out at 2, had some speed, motor quit right on me there. I think that's what it is. I have crank, but no fire. So just want to thank the guys. This was an awesome season, big improvement on last year. We're holding their heads high. We're going to get this car back together and whoop some ass next year.
How about it for Ashton Dickey, guys? What a classy interview on a night when he just seen his whole season go away. As you heard him say there, guys, he has crank in the motor, but it will not fire. So we'll see what's up here when we pull these cars apart. Now, it shouldn't be too big of a problem. If Dickey can get the 1A going, he'll have a bit of a bumper cover drag him, but I don't think that's going to be enough to keep him out of this race. The Lubeck car's got all kinds of problems to the left front, but wait and see what's going on with the Dickey 1A. I think he might be in trouble here, guys, and done for the night.
Man.
Now, I don't have the actual point breakdown in front of me. It's not on the website under the ODCC rules because those are across all of the different tracks, so I don't have the breakdown. But Sarantakos is only 10 points behind Hiller, and Sarantakos right now 2 spots up. I don't know what the breakdown is, but next door they'll know that by the time the end of the race is there. But this isn't over yet. This didn't just hand it over to Ryan Hiller by any means.
No, there's still racing left to go. We've determined that anything can happen. Clinton, what are you seeing down there?
We are going to send a push truck here to the back of the 1A. Give him every opportunity to at least get it fired or back to the pits, one or the other.
There's some crew people back there. Heck, if anyone can diagnose an electrical issue, it's the Thorn crew. They've been working on that with the 4 machine for about a month. So we circulate under the yellow flag, 13 laps in, 7 laps to go.
I want to know if Ken Hare's listening to us. He's got his radio antenna still attached.
Well, guys, the Lubeck car will not steer, and that could be a break for Ashton Dickey because they're going to push them back there. And now, if he can get some work on that car, he may be able to get back out here. The Lubeck car has got front end damage. They thought he was going to be able to drive away, but it will need a hook now.
Yeah, so this will give the Dickey team some time to at least look things over. Wouldn't that be a story?
Anything can happen. Miracles happen every day, Greg Callan.
That they do. And, Ashton Dickey's hoping for one here tonight. Fabio's back. The 16, whatever was ailing that machine, he's back out.
Tommy says the points breakdown are at the bottom of the page on all the points pages.
You're right. Thanks, Tommy.
Let's have a look at our upcoming events calendars. Wow, who thought to put the points breakdowns right? That's brilliant.
Brilliant.
Upcoming events here at the Big O is September 15th. The second running of the Northern Crate Nationals next Friday night. And then Saturday, the September 16th, the 19th running of the Northern Sprint Car Nationals. Upcoming here on G-Force TV, we still got lots to go. Those 2 events here at the Big O next weekend. Then the following weekend is Championship Weekend at Delaware Speedway for the Quick Super Stocks. They'll be September 22nd. And then the Great Canadian 200 for the APC Series, September 23rd at Delaware Speedway.
So basically it's 4 points between first and second, 3 points between second and third, and then 2 points different throughout the field all the way back. So five or six spots ahead of Ryan Hiller would put Mike Sarantakos in the points. Still not over. 7 laps is a long ways to go. This would normally be about, the halfway point of a normal feature race. So it's not over.
What do you mean this would be the halfway point? This would be 2 laps to go for normal feature race.
No, I'm saying the 7 laps. 7 laps left.
I see what you're saying.
The other way. I'm looking at the other end of the feature.
Shocking.
Back to the green flag. Hare and Elslager out in front. No return for Ashton Dickey.
Ryan Hiller right alongside Mike Sarantakos. They battle off a turn number 2 out in front. Hare and Elslager duking it out for the lead. Hare right around the bottom of the racetrack. Elslager using the middle groove with Tim DeBoer right behind them.
6 laps left to settle this one. Elslager looking for a third win on the year. Hare looking for his second, and Tim DeBoer trying to get that one back that he lost earlier on in the year in that 9th spot. He's been biding his time right now, running in the top 3.
Spencer Rydell in the 84 just had to check up, and it didn't look like that car wants to come back up to speed. It is not. He is slow on the racetrack. I believe he's going to peel off to the infield, so that'll end the night early for the 84.
This time out will be 4 laps left to go. Ken Hare looking to go back-to-back in the 5K as he works it off the corner. Good battle heating up there between Tim DeBoer and Elslager. He looked low. DeBoer did down in corner number 4. And a good fight behind that. De Silva trying to hold off Thorne, and Alex Riley has had quite the drive. Started 19th, and he's up into the top 5 as he edged ahead there for a moment on Wade Thorne.
Ryan Hiller is under attack from Nico Hansen, Chris French, Mason Anderson, Fabio Oliveri. Up ahead, though, Sarantakos is ahead of him by 3 spots, running right behind a couple of good battles. But Sarantakos doesn't seem to be able to get up and battle with those cars either.
No, if he could, boy, it would be interesting as it's 2 laps left to go. Ryan Hiller needs to kind of leave things the way they are right now if he can, but he's got cars bearing down. Still not over. 2 laps left to settle it. Hare out in front. DeBoer has gotten by Elslager.
Hare with a good advantage out in front. DeBoer gets sideways. Might have been with some help from Elslager as the white flag flies. DeBoer second. And Riley and Elslager battling for third.
DeBoer has Riley right on the back bumper. Riley with 3 wins this year in that 17, but did run the complete season. Otherwise, he might be in the championship contention. So checkers come out. Ken Hare is going to get the win over Tim DeBoer and Alex Riley.
Coming across the line, Sarantakos finishes 7th. Ryan Hiller, 11.
Wow.
That should be a difference of 8 points.
So unofficially, that would be a 2 points to the good for Ryan Hiller. But we'll wait until that's made official. Wow. And that's just the first feature, folks. Still got 3 more to go. And 3 more champions to crown as Ken Hare goes back-to-back. Tim DeBoer in the 2nd spot, and Alex Riley back on the podium again as Lone Wolf Fireworks are going to light up the sky and help celebrate the win for Ken Hare, and unofficially the championship for Ryan Hill. Well, that race had some drama, and not very often do you see the point leader going in have that big of a problem, but boy, oh boy, did it change things as here comes Ken Hare climbing out. Let's hear it from Clinton Jeffrey.
Kenny Hare out of the car, ladies and gentlemen. How about a hand for your feature winner tonight? Gets it done for the 2nd week in a row. This week he'll actually get the victory lane on the front straightaway. Started out his night by picking up last week's trophy and checkered flag in the Tech Barn. Well, Kenny, you get one done the right way this week. 2 in a row. That's pretty darn cool for you here at Ohsweken.
Yeah, we definitely had something to prove and show that we are a fast car and we don't need to win on default. We definitely had a good run tonight,
I can't thank everyone enough for all the help. I just can't believe we're here 2 nights in a row.
It's been amazing. This car really came around for you the last few weeks. How about that?
Yeah, we ended up blowing a motor. Got a good motor through my work. The thing's been working pretty good. So, yeah, at this point, I'd just like to thank Jeremy Cooper, Go-Getters, EG Auto, and Cooper Motorsports. You guys are the best.
There you have it. Kenny Hare, your feature winner here tonight, guys. We get over here and talk to Tim DeBoer.
Tim DeBoer with a solid runner-up finish. 1 spot short, but it was a hard-fought second place, Clint.
Tim, we met like this a couple times this year. You know, close to the feature wins, but still, anytime you finish on the checkered pad down here is a good deal, right in victory lane.
Yeah, this is a good spot to be. It was just it hooked up. It found the bottom, and it just went. And it's nice to be here, I guess. And it's nice to see Ryan get his championship. He's been going good all year, and these guys here, they're crazy fast. So it's nice to be up there with them for once.
You got it. Tim DeBoer, guys. We'll finish second. We'll get over here and talk to Alex Riley.
Good to see Dusty DeBoer down there with Tim at the end of that race. And here's a guy that had some success this year. Didn't run the whole season, but Clinton Jeffrey standing with Alex Riley.
Alex, you've had a couple feature wins, as Greg mentioned. Solid end to your season here at Ohsweken. If you race next week, that's cool, but your points title's going to come down a pretty good deal here. A couple times down here in victory lane. Again, here we're the third.
Yeah, it was definitely a fun track. I think we're going to be back here full-time next year with another new car. So I'll have 1 track for Ohsweken, 1 for Merrittville. But that big caution on lap 13, I started hearing some popping in the motor. So we were supposed to go to Brighton tomorrow, but we'll see what happens when we get back to the shop tonight. So just got to thank all my sponsors for helping me get here. Van Sickle and Lundy's Lane Pet Value, Big Country Raw, Reggie's Performance Automotive, Niagara Jeep and Chrysler, everyone that helps me get to where we're at. So thank you, everybody.
Right on there you have from Alex Riley, our third place runner here tonight in the HRW Automotive Mini Stocks. Tim DeBoer will be second. Kenny Hare will be your winner. We'll take a very quick break here on G-Force TV. Right back with our champion, Ryan Hiller, for a quick interview prior to the next feature, guys.
When your dream car becomes a nightmare, leaving you frustrated, stranded, and broke, you say,
Goodbye, you piece of Let's take it to TKC.
What? You gotta pee?
TKC!
Let's take this piece of to TKC Metal Recycling. They pay cash for scrap cars.
TKC will recycle your piece of car. Got a piece of car? Visit TKC Metal Recycling, 20 Cushman Road, St. Catharines.
Tiffany Gate Fresh Gourmet. Our savory pasticides can be prepared any way you like. Serve warm or chilled, as a main or as a side. Tiffany Gate Fresh Gourmet. Create your way to great taste.
Early man discovered fire, but Quick Wick perfected fire. Quick Wick is the only fire starter that guarantees to start your campfire, wood stove, or fireplace without the need for kindling or paper. Find your nearest Quick Wick retailer at quickwick.com.
Rev up your engines and get ready for some high-octane action. G-Force TV is your one-stop destination for all the best racing action across Ontario. With free live coverage of the APC Series, Ohsweken Speedway, Southern Ontario Sprints, and much more. You won't miss a single moment of the excitement. Whether you're a die-hard fan or a casual viewer, G-Force TV has everything you need to stay up to date on the latest racing news and events. Head to our website at gforcetv.net and start watching today.
Welcome back to Ohsweken Speedway. We are in Quick Wick Victory Lane as Ryan Hiller has just picked up the HRW Automotive Mini Stock Championship. Ryan, you're the champ this year. You know, a couple years in the making, battling hard, but what does it mean to be the champ here at Ohsweken in 2023?
Oh, man, it's really special having my name along with some other great drivers. I mean, I really had to work for it tonight, though.
Awesome run. Congrats.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
We'll see Ryan Hiller at the Night of Champions Banquet November 17th. How about it for your mini stock champ? One big round of applause for Ryan Hiller.
What a great job by all the HRW Automotive Mini Stock teams putting on such great shows all season long, and a great championship battle that came right down to the final night. We'll celebrate them from Carmen's Banquet Hall in Hamilton in November, and we'll have that live on GeForce TV as well. That's a whole night of looking at us on camera, Adam. I don't know if we should be promoting that or not.
We have a new plan for this year, though. I think it's going to go well.
We're going to be behind a curtain?
Something like that. Something like that.
You're hiring professionals?
Equally as important, we need to thank Christine Dryden for these cake pops.
Phenomenal.
I mean, for the salad that she delivered to the tower.
You did not hear that, Spencer.
We better save those for Spencer.
Yes, we'll take them down to the truck.
Guys, just want to make a quick note here. When it came down to redraw, Mac Demand made the redraw, the 2 title contenders. He will start outside the front row with the redraw of number 2. The 52 of Jesse Costa asked for the lineup to be checked for the redraw. He missed it by a couple markers. He was 9th in passing points and just missed the redraw. He will start 9th tonight.
Oh, spoiler alert. I was about to give the lineup. No, that's great information. I mean, every position matters. Here's how they'll line up tonight. For the Strickland's Brantford Chevrolet Great Sprint Car Feature. On the pole in the 99 from Ohsweken is Josh Hill. Outside him, it's the highlight man, Mac Demand, from Mississauga in the number 4. The BS39's from Waynefleet, that's Brett Stratford. He'll start 3rd. Beside him from Listwell, the 97 is Sheldon Bender. 5th from Georgetown, the 2M is Steve Murdoch. 6th from Woodstock, the 29W is Tyler Ward. 7th from Mossley, the 3S is Austin Rose. 8th from Salmon Arm, British Columbia, the 26 is John Verney. 9th from St. Thomas, the 52 is Jesse Costa. 10th from Stony Creek, the 24A is AJ Lewis. 11th from Thamesford, the 14 is Larry Gledhill. 12th from Ancaster, the 16X is Keegan Baker. 13th from Ohsweken, the 28T is Cam Thompson. 14th from Waynefleet, the 72 is Tanner Podwinski. 15th from Brantford, the 88 is Lance Erskine. 16th from Ohsweken, the 77E is Ashton Van Every. 17th from Kitchener, the 2 is Travis Hofstetter. 18th from Smithville, the 71C is John Cadman. 19th from Cortland, the 5 is Tom Pellizzari. And 20th from Six Nations in the number 20, it's the Iceman, Johnny Miller. 21st from Thamesford, the 45 is Curtis Gartley. 22nd from Rockwood, the 74 is Rob Neely. 23rd from Ancaster, the 51 is Trevor Young. 24th from Ohsweken, the MK8 is Matt Hill. 25th from Dorchester, the 00 is Greg Smulders. 26th from Grimsby, the 20L is Drayton Lapsevich. 27th from Rockwood, the 94 is Ryan Fraser. 28th from St. George, the 69K is Ken Hamilton. We're going to set up the 4-wide salute, Greg.
Championship night will give these drivers the chance to salute you, the fans, for a fantastic season. Next week, of course, Nationals weekend. We want to thank our regular fans for week in and week out supporting here on Friday nights. And this is the way for our drivers to thank you. They'll take shape behind the Strickland Pace truck. 25 laps the distance tonight. 28 drivers ready to go, ready to crown a champion for 2023, folks. Let's wave them on. Show them your support. Show them that you appreciate what they do on the racetrack each and every week. They're 4 wide and fancy for you, the fans. This is the Strickland Brantford Chevrolet Crate Sprint Car Division.
Settles in 2 by 2, 14 rows deep. Dave Hunzier gives the white flag. Next time out of turn number 4, it's going to be Josh Hill in the 99 leading the field to green.
4 points separate the top 2 in points. Mac Demand and Jesse Costa. 4 points separate a win from second place.
And that's with Mac Demand missing a week.
Yeah, that's the impressive part.
Pretty amazing. The calm before the storm as the field paces into 3 and 4. Headed towards the cargo ease start and restart zone where Josh Hill will fire first in that 99.
They thunder off into corner number 1 for the first time, and it is busy through the middle of the pack especially. Cars everywhere right now, and out in front, contact. Bender gets into Stratford right in front of the pack. Oh, 3 cars pile up.
Looks like Tanner Podwinski involved down there.
Larry Gledhill.
Ken Hamilton. Ken Hamilton's up the outside of turn number 3. That's a different incident.
Along with Trevor Young.
Red flag being displayed.
So Gledhill, Podwinski, and Bender are down there, but I think there's another car that we can't catch from our angle, so everyone down in corner 4 saying it's this.
Have a look at the replay, seeing Bender go around.
Oh, Hofstetter, okay.
Nowhere to go for Gledhill, Podwinski, Hofstetter. Although I think Hofstetter just slid to a stop. I think that car's going to be okay.
How close did that come to Jesse Costa? He was there. I didn't get a good look.
Ken Hamilton.
Hamilton gingerly getting out of the car, guys, and the car has flipped up here in turn number 3. Trevor Young also involved. We're going to head over to the other wreck scene now, but want to give you a quick look at this one.
Thanks, Clint. That right there is the advantage of starting at the front for Mac Demand. You just don't have any of that carnage to worry about.
It was pretty hairy right off the drop of the green flag. And simple spin there by Bender. Clint?
Travis Hofstetter's car appears to be all right in the number 2 here. Don't see any problems with him. We'll work over here and check out the Podwinski car. Yes, he's got the drag link broken in this one, so he's already left this car. This car won't steer at all. Taking a look at Larry Gledhill's car. I see some damage here to the drag link, but not sure what we're going to see on the front end. Once we get it out of here, you can see the right side is all pushed in here. The headers are pushed in and a flat right rear, but I think they may be able to get the Gledhill car fixed here, guys. Well, he's got radius rods broken, so they got problems on this one. The Bender car has problems with the front axle, so Bender and Gledhill looks like they will be done here maybe, and Podwinski is also out of this one, guys, so could possibly lose 3 here in this one.
Real quick red flag as Trevor Young's 51 going to be pushed back to the pits. He's got a flat right front tire on that race car. Ken Hamilton was shaking out some pain in his left hand as he climbed out of the car.
We have a fuel leak here in the Gledhill car, so we're going to ask Larry to get out of his machine here. It looks like they have popped the fuel cell and all kinds of fuel leaking out of the bottom here of the Gledhill 14, guys.
Yeah, we saw some fuel there. The video shot was zoomed in, but yeah, dangerous situation there. So we get Gledhill out. And that car is teetering. Oh, there you see it.
You can see the fuel raining down from underneath the 14 as it's up in the air there, dripping on the bottom in the puddle. So Gledhill has been asked, as Bender and Podwinski have all been removed from their car. Larry Gledhill, 64-year-old, coming into this deal. He came in tonight 4th place in points. Now let's have a look at the replay.
Yeah, Bender, yeah, just to the right of Jesse Costa. Costa was never really close, but you always keep an eye on the points leaders in a situation like that, and it stacked up quick. There was really nowhere for anyone to go, and Travis Hofstetter was the only one that was able to woe it up in time, but he had a bit of a time to get there to get it woed up.
Cam Thompson was pretty close. He was the last one to sneak through on the inside before everything closed up.
See, you and I don't do any of that.
I actually felt a little bit of pain in my lower back watching that video.
Those cake pops were heavy. There you see Friday Night Thunder on APTN. Kicked off Season 3 tonight at 8:30. So those of you that are here at the track tonight, obviously not tuned into that, but hopefully you have your PVR set. You don't want to miss Friday Night Thunder. That is phenomenal. They do a fantastic job with that. I've been able to watch the first 2 seasons of that.
Great stories.
They really are.
Now, Spencer, just so you know, Greg and I shared 1 cake pop, so you could have 2.
We shared 1 box, and there's 2 left. That's the real math. Hey, get your hands off of that, Brent. That's for our friend Spencer, who up until 5 minutes ago wasn't getting any cake pops.
We could show all the empty sticks up here with a telestrator, but we don't need to do that.
People obviously do listen, though, because we were whining about this at Brighton all weekend. We didn't have cake pops, so ask and ye shall receive. We're going to take a quick break here as they dry things up down in corner 4 here at the Big O.
Introducing the Fleet lineup by CargoEase. Our commercial and Titan Series slide come with weight capacities of 1,500 to 3,000 pounds and features HDPE Ultra Ply Deck, a 1/4-inch rubber mat, 8-inch aluminum side rails, a patented spring release T-handle, and L-hook fasteners. This is the CargoEase Fleet lineup.
Get ready to experience the NASCAR Pinty Series Power Hour. Join your host and wingman, Cam K, every Monday night at 7 p.m. on GeForce TV for an hour of non-stop excitement and in-depth analysis of the hottest racing series around. From the latest race highlights to expert analysis and insider commentary, you'll get an exclusive look at everything you need to know about the NASCAR Pinty Series. Tune in for the NASCAR Pinty Series Power Hour, the ultimate destination for race fans everywhere.
You're so tasty. Drive me crazy. Ain't nothing I can do.
Tiffany Gate Fresh Gourmet. Our savory potato sides can be prepared any way you like. Serve warm or chilled, as a main or as a side. Tiffany Gate Fresh Gourmet. Create your way to great taste.
Ohsweken Speedway Racing on GeForce TV is brought to you by Tiffany Gate. Indulge in a world of fresh meals, sides, salads, and more.
Welcome back to Ohsweken Speedway. We're just about complete with the cleanup here in turn number 4. The last of the cars being pulled away. The fuel has been dealt with some speedy dry down there, so they'll take the time to clean that away, and we'll be ready to get back to Green Flag Racing. We've still got 3 races left to go with this crate sprint car feature that is on the track now. Our Middleport Mechanical Thunderstocks and the Cool Kids Ice and Water Core Pack Merchandising 360 sprint cars. So we've talked about the top of the heap, Mac DeMann and Jesse Costa. Those are the 2 drivers battling for the championship. Steve Murdoch's sort of on an island all of his own, sitting in the 3rd spot. And then Larry Gledhill is going to give up some points here tonight. So Brett Strafford, who came in tonight into the 5th spot, needs to pick up 6 points on Larry Gledhill to jump up to 4th. Lance Erskine trying to hold off John Cadman to hang on to 6. Sheldon Bender came in the 8th spot, so we could see Johnny Miller and Rob Neely try to sneak up and grab those positions. As there goes the Podwinski number 72, just one more car parked down there, and I believe Hofstetter should be able to resume this race. I believe that's what Clinton said to us. As here comes the sweeper up off of turn number 3. They'll move the Hofstetter car out of the way, and it shouldn't take much time with this sweeper to get that cleared off, and we'll be ready to rumble once again. Sweeper making quick work with things there in turn number 4. The nice thing about methanol, it evaporates pretty quickly.
Well, Adam, we had a huge puddle down here that we really had to address, and it was starting to get a little bit concerning and dangerous. So this is probably the best move here. First time we've ever used a sweeper on the dirt, but it did a great job, cleaned up all that speedy dry, and we're ready to go here trackside.
Great work by the crew. A little bit of improvising down there. You do what you got to do. This is a different racetrack than we've seen most of the year. How's it going to stay, Clinton? You're down there in turn number 4. What's the grip like? What's the surface like?
It's really fantastic, Adam. Still tons of bite here on the Speedway surface. All the way through, you can see there's not a ripple in the whole track here in turn 4. Everything looks great. There was a huge puddle down here. If we get a quick look at where the sweeper just pushed. So this is what it looked like. It was all puddles with lots of speedy dry in it. The sweeper came, cleaned it right out, and we're ready to go here at the bottom of 4.
Sure, fairly soon the yellow flag is going to be displayed. The lights will change from red to yellow on the fence. We'll start pushing cars off to get ready for the restart here in this crate sprint car feature. 25 laps the distance for each of our final 3 feature events, the crate sprints, the Thunderstocks, and the 360s, as Greg Smulders getting hooked off from the back end there from turn number 2.
Yeah, tow trucks had massive duty there. 6 cars all need to be towed back to the pits in one incident.
Cake pops delivered.
Happy Spencer?
I could have eaten them behind the grandstands.
I'm not sure that's how that works. Spencer just came on to say happy crew, happy announcers. Although, how would we know? We haven't had a happy crew yet, but it's only year 3.
Ouch. Zing.
And that's what we get.
That was timing as I'm trying to catch my breath. Let's go to camera.
Oh, that was delicious. I think I had a whole sprinkle stuck in my teeth. I dislodged it, and that was like a second round.
Bonus sprinkle. Let's leave that there.
Half a dozen cars or so sitting on the back straightaway. Looks like everything else has fired. Get those push vehicles over there to turn number 2. My idea to name the push vehicles didn't go anywhere. Now, I thought it was a good idea.
I did too. I like that. Kind of Monster Jam type idea.
Right?
Yeah, give them personalities.
We'll work on that for next year.
I would like to welcome a new partner. They just got sponsored this week. The deal's in the works. They're soon will be known as the Kenny Upel Push Crew. It's Kenny Upel coming on to help us, keep the cars all maintained and the buggies ready to go. So I want to welcome Kenny Upel to the Push Crew.
Can we just name them all Kenny? My brother Daryl, and this is my other brother Daryl.
It doesn't mean your idea goes away, Adam. It just means we have corporate now to maybe make it happen.
No, for sure. With Mike Morris selling, like everything is going to be sold. I'm surprised there's not logos across these windows for us to look through.
Next week.
Next week. I'm down.
Don't give them ideas.
Who wouldn't want to be involved in all this? Dueling checkered flags down on the infield, I believe. Yep.
Epic Racewear ready to crown our next 3 champions. That's been a top prize for a number of years here at Ohsweken Speedway, where the champions get a brand new fire suit. Can't say that for a lot of champions.
No, great deal for our... How many fire suits does Dave Bailey have?
6. Field taking shape. Try this one all over again. No laps completed in this one.
So they have the restart cone out, which I would have thought it was going to be a complete restart, but I guess we're going to restart single file if the cone is out on the front stretch. Now, if you're Jesse Costa, you're lobbying from the car saying, hey, we should all be doubled up. I should be... Okay, They are saying double up.
Yep. So Carter will pull the restart cone out of the way quickly.
Run away, run away. Come back and I will taunt you another time.
Oh, your mother smells of elderberries.
We are the knights who say, neat. Gosh, they were brilliant.
We are. But we're going to go racing here. 25 laps for the Brantford. Strickland Brantford Chevrolet Crate Sprint Car Division. We'll try this one all over again.
Was there a delay there? The green flag was waving and nobody was going. Then all of a sudden, hammer down. Jesse Costa with a great start, nearly up into the top 5 already in the 52, but he better be McDeman out in front, and that number 4, he's going to lead the way.
3 wide is Costa right now between Rose and Ward, and they will go down through 1 and 2. Costa right now riding in the 6th spot. The guy he's trying to beat, he's out in front. McDeman.
Man with a healthy lead over Steve Murdoch. Brett Stratford settled into 3rd. Costa still battling side by side with Rose as they look like they're going to split the 99 to Hill. Costa not able to get that run on the inside. He'll follow Austin Rose around the outside.
Pellizzari's got something wrong in the left front. He's running at the back, but I'm just keeping an eye on him because the leaders are catching him quick and something a little off on the 5. Well, here on the front stretch he seems all right, but boy, he had a hard time in 1 and 2.
And that car's just pushing like a dump truck.
Wow. Is it ever?
And it's only in 1 and 2.
Like it looks like something's broke. That's how hard he's got it cranked to the left as it pushes through the corner.
Why is turn 1 so much different than turn 3 though?
That is crazy for Pellizzari. Nonetheless, it's Costa racing with Austin Rose. There you see the battle between Hill and Tyler Ward as well.
Austin Rose been glued together side by side for the last number of laps as Brett Stratford has to drop the anchor to avoid Pellizzari in turn number 2.
Pellizzari's front wing has flapped up now. That's further added to the problems, and he's right in front of Jesse Costa. Not for long.
Costa and Rose get by. Pellizzari going to take that 5 machine back to the pits. Look at that gaggle of cars. Lance Erskine to the inside of Hill down into turn number 3. Erskine takes over the 6th spot, but they are racing like crazy behind them.
Josh Hill came all the way down the hill, and he split through the traffic, ends up on the tail tank of Curtis Gartley. Great battle going on there from Gartley on back.
Out in front, McDeman into significant traffic right now. He's got 3 slower cars between himself and Steve Murdoch. Now he's working on the 2 with Travis Hofstetter, and it's not going to get any lighter for McDeman out in front of him.
Jesse Costa trying to get away from Austin Rose and catch Brett Stratford, who you see right now. Stratford holding down that 3rd spot behind Steve Murdoch in 2nd position and leader McDeman.
DeMann down into turn 3 to the outside of John Cadman in that 71 as they come off of turn number 4. In fact, he doesn't get to the outside of Cadman. Still has about 10 car lengths to go. Trayton Lapsovich just ahead of him now in the 20L.
Watching McDeman just pedal that car around the track. He is the highlight man. He is so smooth, so fast. And he's trying to power his way to a championship beside missing 1 race this year.
3-car battle for the 2nd spot. Brett Stratford, Steve Murdoch, and Jesse Costa. Costa will drive to the inside of Murdoch, then swing to the outside of Brian Fraser just ahead of them as Stratford. He's got that position.
Now John Cadman pulls to the infield, and unofficially he was the Rookie of the Year leader heading into tonight for this division, so he's going to take a hit in the points here.
Laps clicking away. We're less than 10 laps to go in this great sprint car feature event. McDeman into turn 3. He'll work to the outside of John Verney. He's got a straightaway advantage over Brett Stratford with Jesse Costa right behind that number 39.
McDeman catching Rob Neely, who won the B main earlier tonight. Still got a good size advantage right now for 2nd place. Brett Stratford, Jesse Costa running in that 3rd position. Simply doing everything he can tonight, but with McDeman, the point leader's out in front, not much else you can do.
No, there's really not. You got to drive your race to as well as you can, but when DeMann gets out front and there's no yellow to slow things down, with 7 laps to go, as we've said all night, anything can still happen. You've got to keep up on the wheel and keep making your moves.
Track looks like it's changing a lot, even just through this feature event. You have to wonder what it's going to be like for the Thunders and the 360s still to come tonight. Settled their championship, a different track than what they faced in qualifying heats earlier on.
Brett Stratford has opened up a little bit on Jesse Costa. He'll work to the inside of Sheldon Bender's number 97. Costa hasn't got around Travis Hofstetter just yet, but Stratford getting held up by the Bender 97. That's going to allow Costa in the 52 to close that gap with 5 laps remaining.
Stratford down tight to the wall, gets around Bender down the back stretch and into corner 3. Leader at the stripe now with 21 on the board. 4 laps left to go. McDeman just needs to keep doing what he's doing.
Well, I'll tell you what, though, McDeman is nowhere near as fast as Brett Stratford and Jesse Costa these last few laps. So it could be that he's being patient, somehow knows he's got a sizable advantage. He's trying to work to the inside of Rob Neely. The lane just won't open up for that number 4.
Time by, it'll be 2 laps left to go. There you see your leader at the top of the screen, Brett Stratford. Second place down at the bottom, right in behind Trayton Lapsovich. 2 to go for leader McDeman in car number 4.
Man working down the back straightaway. A.J. Lewis just ahead. Tyler Ward just ahead. He'll come off. Oh, A.J. Lewis gets into the inside wall just ahead of DeMann as he takes the white flag.
McDeman needs to hold on one more lap around. He's got heavy traffic in front with Lewis and Ward. And here he goes into corner 3, the final time.
Through 3 and 4, he's going to work his way off of corner 4 through heavy traffic. Checkered flag for McDeman. He'll be the champion of 2023 in the Strickland GMC Crate Sprint Car Division. Brett Stratford second, Jesse Costa third. Austin Rose finishes 4th with Steve Murdoch coming home in the 5th spot.
Gartley, Miller, Erskine, Van Every, and Baker top 10. Here you see the highlight man, McDeman. He'll pick up the championship. Missed one evening of racing, and nonetheless has enough points to claim the championship for Bar Motorsports in that Leach Performance engine number 4. There's not much calculating to do when the guy leading the points comes out and dominates and wins the feature.
No, you're absolutely right there.
McDeman will win that over Jesse Costa. Steve Murdoch, another solid run with the top 5 here tonight. Will end in 3rd place in the points. He was kind of on an island by himself in 3rd. Really had nothing to lose coming into tonight. And a great season for him as well. And fitting that the guy that finished probably with the most 3rd places this year went up 3rd place in points.
Solid season. He got that victory like you mentioned. But tonight, it's about McDeman, the driver of that number 4. Leach Performance Engines, Bar Motorsports. The sponsors on that car as he climbs up to celebrate. Clinton Jeffrey is on the scene.
McDeman will win the 2023 Crate Sprint Car Championship here at Ohsweken for the Bar Motorsports team. Does it in dominating fashion by winning the final points race of the year. Brett Stratford and Jesse Costa, 2 of the contenders in here to congratulate the champ. McDeman missed a week because of a wedding. Had a dominant enough year that it didn't cost him the championship, and he gets it done. Thank you. Mac, we'll let you take your Hans device off. What a drive, Mac. Congrats. You're the champ. What a way to do it by winning the final race.
Yeah, I mean, we haven't got a win since 2 back-to-back in the middle of the year. Everyone stepped up their game from Murdoch to Costa to Brett's over here, wrecking cars and coming back, finishing 2nd next week. I just got to thank my guys. They gave me a great car all year, never missed the top 5. Barman, the Bar family, they deserve this. I told them beginning of the year I wouldn't be able to run for points. We got lucky with the rain out, had a big lead so I could go to a wedding. And I'm just glad I could give it to them because they're really the dedication of this team. I'm the part-time driver, and I'm just glad I could get it for them.
Congrats, Mac. You're the champ.
Thank you.
McDeman, the 23 champion for the Crate Sprint Cars. What a season they've had.
Hard to believe, 16 career wins. The winningest driver in the division, his first championship.
That is hard to believe.
Brett Stratford, you're still smiling, Brett. What a year. I mean, look where we were a year ago. You're an independent driver. just doing your own business. Since then, you've come out to build all these GSR chassis. They've had a lot of success. They've run great. You're running great. You got a new look. What a year for you.
Yeah, you know what? Yeah, I'm very happy with the year we had. Our worst finish the whole season between every track we've been to has been 4th, other than just a bunch of tow trucks. And it was a very expensive year, but once we look past the money, it was an absolute fantastic year. I got to thank Glenn Stiers and everyone back at the GSR Fab Shop. This thing's it's a really, really good car. I actually think we had something for them, for Mac towards the end, just too little too late, and it is what it is.
Congrats, Brett.
Thank you. Thanks to all my fans up there. Thank you, guys.
Brett Stratford, good season for him in the BS 39.
He doesn't even need a microphone. Just point him to the grandstands and let him fire away.
Well, Jesse, you didn't quite get the win here tonight, but you're still 3rd place. You're going to finish 2nd in the points. You know, tough deal when Matt gets out front like that. You missed the redraw by 1 spot tonight, and that kind of hurt you. It might have been a different story.
Yeah, we missed the redraw literally by a pill draw was the tiebreaker, but Mac's a hell of a driver, so congrats to him and the bar team. Like they did a lot for me last year and the past few years before that, so congrats to them. I just want to say thanks to Nathan Ackland and Ash for putting me in a car and getting me out here, and they give me the best equipment I can get, so I'm just finding new ways to lose these things, but thanks to Ackland Insurance, D&O Towing, they're here, Wells Foundry, Pinewood Horticulture Services, Butler Bill, Welders Millwrights, Oakwood Transport, the Glad Hills, my dad, all my crew, my wife, my daughter, and I don't know if my son's up. He's at home watching, but and thanks for the fans for coming out in Ohsweken Speedway.
Yeah, but Jesse Costa, you can tell he's a little bit dejected here. 2nd place in the points, 3rd tonight. 2nd place on the pad tonight, Brett Stratford, and your winner and champion for Bar Motorsports. Mac Demand, ladies and gentlemen, will win the 2023 Great Sprint Car Championship. We'll be right back live on GeForce TV. 2 more championships to award here on Epic RACEWEAR Nights.
Tiffany Gate Fresh Gourmet. Our savory potato sides can be prepared any way you like. Serve warm or chilled, as a main or as a side. Tiffany Gate Fresh Gourmet. Create your way to great taste.
You're so tasty. Drive me crazy. Ain't nothing I can do.
Introducing the Fleet lineup by CargoEase. Our commercial and Titan Series slide come with weight capacities of 1,500 to 3,000 pounds and features HDPE Ultra Ply Deck, a 1/4-inch rubber mat, 8-inch aluminum side rails, a patented spring release T-handle, and L-hook fasteners. This is the CargoEase Fleet lineup.
Ohsweken Speedway Racing on GeForce TV is brought to you by Pinty's, making great food fun, and by Quick Wick, the world's best fire starter. Back live at Ohsweken Speedway for Friday Night Excitement, brought to you by Tiffany Gate Fresh Gourmet. Middleport Mechanical Thunderstocks on the track, ready to settle their points championship. Ryan Beagle leads by 1 point over Dave Bailey and 6 points over Kyle Wirt. This is going to be something, I think.
It always is. You know, always a fabulous show, these Middleport Mechanical Thunderstocks. Tonight will be no exception. 25 laps the distance. Here's how they'll line up. On the pole in the 17W from Tilbury is Travis Whittle. Alongside him from Brantford, the 13 is Casey Huffman. Looks like Huffman's elected to go to the back. Scheduled to start 3rd from Caister Center, the 41 is Adam Plazik. 4th from Hamilton, the 25 is Ken Sargent. 5th in the 32 from Canfield is Mark Fawcett. 6th from Keister Center, the 28 is Jim Lampman. 7th from Hagersville, the 8 is Ryan Dinning. 8th from Guelph, the 79 is Chris Hale. Starting 9th, it's Mikey Bobby, Mike Thorne from Caledonia in the 55, and rounding out the top 10 from Burlington, the 97 is Ron Logie. 11th from Jerseyville, the 53 is Logan Schwedick. 12th from Hagersville, the 23 is Trevor DeBoer. 13th from Hagersville, the 93K is Mike Klazinga. 14th from Binbrook, the 27, Smoky Tim Phelan. 15th from Keister Center, the 28D is Donnie Lampman. 16th from Hagersville, the 49 is Brewster Baker, Dave Bailey. 17th from Ancaster, the 19 is Kyle Wirt. 18th out of Harley, the 37 is Robert Hoskins. 19th from Victoria, in the 84 RK, it's the big dog, Ryan Beagle. 20th from Dundas, the 24R is Rodney Rutherford. 21st from Canfield, the 03 is George Grossel. 22nd from Ohsweken, the 93 is Melissa Miller. 23rd from Ohsweken, the 21Z is Braden Burning. 24th from Niagara Falls, the 26 is Keith Hain. 25th from London, the 76 is Jamie Googe. 26th from Hamilton, the 43 is Kyle Andrus. And in the final row from South Buxton, the 47J is Jody Mason. And rounding out the field from Blenheim, 6X is Marshall Bellamy. And oh yeah, they're 4 wide.
A great looking field of race cars, and this division from one end of the province to the other, one of the most entertaining you'll find at any racetrack. What a shot from the drone of that field of 28 race cars. Race fans, once again, let's salute these drivers. They brought it down, 3 drivers within 6 points of a championship. Let's wave them on. 4 wide and fancy for you, the fans. The Middleport Mechanical Thunderstock division.
Whittle and Sargent going to make up the front row. I believe the white flag will be displayed by Dave Hunsinger, and next time we'll set them loose for 25 laps.
White flag displayed. It all comes down to this. And I think of the 4 championship chases, I think this is the one I've heard the most chatter about, because there's so many people, and I don't want to not include Kyle Wirt in the talk, but it's been Ryan Beagle, Dave Bailey for so long in this division, and it seems like you're either a fan of one or the other, and this is where the big talk comes down to. So it's going to be interesting. I know there's a few fans that I talk to regularly that even in their house they're divided, and this is the race they're waiting for.
That's what it's supposed to be like. Pick your favorite and ride it out, and in this division they've got their work cut out for them. A lot of cars to pass, but right now Travis Whittle going to lead them to green.
That he will, but Ken Sargent jumps out to the early lead, and Ken's shown speed. Even in the qualifying heats, he jumped out front in that 25 car, and here comes Donnie Lampman there. I'll make that Jim Lampman right behind him in the 28, as the Lampmans enjoyed success last Friday night.
Adam Plazik made a nice move to get to the inside of Whittle in turn number 2. That allowed him to be up there battling for 3rd, 4th spot. Oh no.
Wow, right in front of Beagle, and he'll get out of the way.
Yellow flag displayed.
Jody Mason around in that 47. There's Adam Plazik into the pit area. So Mason gets things straightened out.
Guys, I've been asked to give Rob Edgar a happy birthday. Rob, glad you're celebrating here at Ohsweken with us tonight. Rob Edgar's having his birthday tonight. They've just told the 427 of Phelan to go to the pits. The rear bumper's hanging off, and you can see it dragging there, and he'll make his way into the pits as Doug Leonard gives him those instructions over the one-way radio.
Happy birthday, Rob. You don't look a day under 103.
Wow. That's customer service right there.
I'm about to get a message on my phone.
Does that look normal for Chris Hale? That is a lot of camber in the right front.
Yeah, you're right. That is a lot. Wow.
I'm no crew chief, but we'll see how well that holds up for him. So Kyle Wirt in our championship battle. Oh, I was going to say he was ahead, but now they're moving Dave Bailey up. Rob Hoskins up. Brian Beagle up.
Well, there's some interesting conversations coming out of the race director's office.
I can reiterate, I was going to put my microphone to it. Doug is telling him stop jumping spots under yellow. It is a computer system. You're not fooling anybody. Just stay where you're supposed to be, and we won't. He said we're having to roll way too many drivers back into the right spots because drivers are jumping when the yellow comes out. So that's what's going on.
It's tough to get one past Doug.
Field will bunch back up. Ken Sargent quick here tonight. That 25. Jim Lampman to his outside in the 28. White flag is out. Christopher Hale in 79 lines up third with Mark Fawcett. That fourth spot, then it's Dinning and Logie back in row 3. DeBoer and Klazinga in row 4, and Thorne and Whittle back in row 5.
Couple of seasoned veterans on that front row, Ken Sargent and Jim Lampman.
Phelan back on track just in time. Let's do a quick fired up the sights and sounds of the Middleport Mechanical Thunderstocks coming back to the green flag. There's a lot to watch here. Oh, contact between Mike Thorne and Dave Bailey off of corner 4.
Amongst all of our points leaders, Bailey, Wirt, and Beagle. Beagle has a checkup coming off of turn number 2. Dave Bailey with the advantage of our points contenders right now. He's running just outside of the top 5.
Got Logie and Hale between he and Kyle Wirt, and then Ryan Beagle trapped in behind. Oh, right in front of Bailey. Oh, Beagle gets jacked up by the 37 of Rob Hoskins. How heavy was the damage on the right rear? Oh, and he's doing more here.
That right front does not look healthy for Ryan Beagle.
Well,
no, there's big problems here, guys. He's got a flat right rear. if not other problems. The rear end is lagging down here on the 84. This could be big problems for the point leader, Ryan Beagle, coming into tonight. He's got his gear starting to come off here. We'll have to see.
Ryan Beagle not one to show a lot of emotion.
Ryan Beagle, we jumped in, told him not to get his gear off, but guys, that's going to cost him the championship right there. Coil spring out of the 84, his night is done.
Let's watch this again, down in 1 and 2. Sargent went around. Beagle got slowed up. What happened to the right front there, though?
I'm not sure. So that spring would be out of the right rear, and I'm not sure if that means he's done. I mean, that spring, they've got to bolt on a fresh right rear tire, but if the components there are still in the right spot, he should be able to set the spring back in its perch.
Now I'm going to show you something here, Adam. So this should be right here on the coil. You should have a hat here pointing down in here, and this is your adjuster on the back. But what's happened here, the shock has been tore right out of this gap. So even if they could put the spring back in place and had the cap, the shock is still tore out. That's going to need a welder or some other big probs, Adam. This is an issue here that's going to cost him the championship.
So watch this here. Oh, Hoskins just didn't get woed up. Man, Beagle got woed up.
When? I don't remember Ryan Beagle ever being towed off of the racetrack.
No.
Like, it's just, in my mind, it's just not something I envision. Clint?
I've never seen him angry or dejected either, and he's pretty upset right now.
Well, it's not over for Dave Bailey because there's 5 points that separate he and Kyle Wirt. Kyle's still trucking there right behind him, so this is long from over. We still have 21 laps left to go, and if it can happen to Ryan Beagle, it can happen to Dave Bailey.
Fawcett out front in that 32 machine. Jim Lampman up on the high side in the 28. Dave Bailey right in the tire tracks of the 32, running in the third spot. Well, he was in second when I started the sentence.
Okay.
Then he was in third by the time I finished the sentence.
I thought you just made up a new number. Here comes Bailey, looking for his 7th straight title here at Ohsweken Speedway. He was broken up by 2 years of pandemic, but nonetheless, he has been the champion for an awfully long time. And here he is to the top of the board.
Bailey gets out front on lap 6. Got a couple of cars together up there in turn number 2. Travis Whittle pointed the wrong way. Going to take that car back into the pits. As Bailey leads the way down the backstretch. Fawcett second, DeBoer third. Wirt still trying to work through some traffic there in that 19 to make his way up into the top 5.
It's Bailey, Fawcett, and DeBoer. Ron Logie with another solid run inside the top 5. Here comes Kyle Wirt, continuing to work the inside line. He'll get by Logan Schweddick. He tucks in line behind Jim Lampman. As Jamie Gooch gets passed by Dave Bailey. And some of the other leaders will go by the 76 as well. Here comes Wirt to the inside of Lampman.
Looks like Gooch going to take that 76 to the pits. Dave Bailey out in front by about 15 car lengths over Fawcett. He's got DeBoer right on his back bumper. They're working the inside groove. Most of these cars near the front running the inside.
DeBoer right there on the back bumper of Mark Fawcett, who continues to look for his first ever Ohsweken Speedway win. He has not done it here in the Thunderstock division. DeBoer has. He's got wins here at the Big O.
Wirt got to the inside of Logie. He'll pick up that position. So Kyle Wirt up into the 4th spot. Now he'll try to close in on Trevor DeBoer in the 23, Mark Fawcett in the 32.
Now make it 13 laps left to go in this one. Next time by will be halfway for Dave Bailey over Mark Fawcett, Trevor DeBoer. DeBoer with the win this year. Kyle Wirt running back there in that 4th spot. He's got 2 wins this season. Dave Bailey with only 2. That's hard to believe as well. It was Ryan Beagle that came into tonight with the 5 wins.
Man, Kyle Wirt is driving aggressively tonight. Into the left rear quarter pan a little bit there. Trevor DeBoer, but he builds himself a lane on the inside. DeBoer racing him hard, able to pinch him down on the bottom, but Kyle Wirt's car is handling very well through the middle.
And he knows he's got to do what he's got to do here. The only way he can win this championship is go win this race, and then I hope Bailey finishes 3rd. Essentially, that would do it for him.
Well, he needs to get up there and battle him and pull the competition along with him. Trevor DeBoer fights back to the high side, takes back that 3rd spot. 2nd, 3rd, and 4th right there together, working off of turn number 2. DeBoer going to roll the outside of Fawcett in the 32.
It's all Dave Bailey. Brewster Baker getting it done. And I would say of all the other championships he's had, if he can lock it up tonight, we'd have to go through the record books, and I'd have to think this is the championship, the least amount of wins on the year. It would be 3 if he could get the win tonight, but nonetheless, it's been a lot of consistency, and one bad night really is what cost him from having another dominant year.
No, that's for sure. And he was humbled a couple of times this year by having the lead and losing the lead in straight up battles.
We'll get to the inside of Kyle Andrus as we watch this battle again when Trevor DeBoer has gotten by Mark Fawcett now into the 2nd spot. Kyle Wirtz had to go to the outside to try and get by the 32, and he's right there, gets by him for the 3rd spot. Now we got one up and around up in corner 2. We'll stand with the green flag.
Now Wirt will try to track down Trevor DeBoer. There's about 5 cars between them and race leader Dave Bailey. Now Wirt to the inside of that 23 machine. They'll battle for 2nd.
I thought Grossel was going to come down in front of Bailey there up at corner 4, but everything's clean and green. Bailey will work it off before another time. This time by it'll be 5 laps left to go for the driver of the Transaxle. Gibbs Action Sport, Queenston Chevrolet, number 49.
He's all by himself right now. A couple of slower cars, about half a straightaway ahead. Nobody behind him for more than half a straightaway. We can't say the same thing for Trevor DeBoer and Kyle Wirt. They're in the midst of some heavy traffic at the moment. DeBoer clears it. Now Wirt going to do the same off of turn 4.
Going to take a caution to shake things up here for Kyle Wirt to give him a chance at the championship. He works on Trevor DeBoer right now, trying to get that 2nd spot, but since he got by Trevor DeBoer earlier on, Trevor said, no, he's gone by him, and he's pulled away and kept the 19 behind him.
Yeah, DeBoer's had a fast car this year. That 23 car has really run well. It's not the prettiest car on the racetrack, but it sure does. Oh, Kyle Wirt goes around.
Keeps a foot in the throttle, but spins it again.
Keeping that car rolling, we stay under green.
Yeah, we do.
By doing that, he doesn't have to go to the back of the field. If the yellow came out, he would have brought out the yellow and have to go to the back. But after those 2 donuts, Dave Bailey is only half a straightaway behind, well, full straightaway behind the 19 of Wirt.
White flag is out for Dave Bailey, looking to make it 7 championships in a row. He'll work by the slower car and down the backstretch for the final time.
Brewster Baker gonna do it again. Bailey off of 3 and 4. He'll run the inside line. Double checkered flags in the air. Bailey gonna take the win and the title. Trevor DeBoer gonna come home in the 2nd spot. Mark Fawcett gonna finish 3rd. 4th goes to Logan Schwedick, and 5th, a good run for Rodney Rutherford in that 24R.
"38th career win here at the Big O. and his 7th straight championship. The run began in 2015, where he won 5 in a row before the pandemic, and then in 2022 came right back with another championship, and he'll get one here in 2023. 7 in a row, 38 career wins for Brewster Baker. Here's the replay on Kyle Wirt. Little bobble there, the car whips around, and he tried to get it straightened, does another 360, and then gets it going here again. But nonetheless, Dave Bailey will celebrate down in Quick Firestarter Victory Lane as Lone Wolf Fireworks lights up the sky to celebrate the 7-time champion.
Here he comes, ladies and gentlemen, into Quick Victory Lane. 7 straight championships for Dave Bailey. Well, Dave, 7 straight is something to be impressed about. Let's talk about your night. You know, you had to fight through that one. But Beagle got into trouble on lap 2, I think it was, and that put him behind the 8 ball. And it came down to you and Kyle Wirt. You grabbed the lead and drove away and win a championship by winning the race. Only 3 wins this year, the toughest championship you've had to tackle out of your 7.
Yeah, just everybody says you have a down year. This is 9 this year, and it's tough, man. I'm super pumped to be here. Just so honored to be a champion again, 7 times in a row. But damn, it sucks that I didn't get to race Beagle for it. I don't know, just so bad for him. Just I don't know. I know he was going to feel terrible, but he's going to have plenty. I'm way older than he is, so he's going to have plenty of shots to do this. Just got to say hi to my mom at home. She's nursing a broken foot, so hopefully she's not jumping up and down on it. And just what a day.
Congrats, Dave. You got it done.
Thank you. And I just got to thank Queenston, Jibs, Transaxle, my son Lucas, he's with me all the time, my dad, Bessie, Olivia, just everybody who helps out, Mark, my cousin Joey, just thanks.
I think it's the most emotion you've seen us in a long time. Dave Bailey gets it done, ladies and gentlemen. He will be the 2023 champ. Give us a second. We'll get in here with Trevor DeBoer.
That's pretty cool there, and you could tell there was some emotion there for Ryan Beagle, his arch nemesis. He likes racing with Ryan.
Yep, you want to beat him on the racetrack. That's how a real racer is, and Clinton Jeffrey is with Trevor DeBoer, who came home second.
Trevor, solid run for you. This 23 car was fast. I know you're happy to see Dave grab the championship. Your families hang out. It's cool for you guys, but heck of a run for you tonight, man.
Yeah, that was it handled really good tonight. I was really happy with it. I got a real special thanks tonight. I went jump in the car to come out for the feature, and it wouldn't start. And everybody's like, all the guys are gone. But there was a huge group of guys out there digging up parts. And Brian General pulled parts off his own car. And we put it on here, and we got it running again, and we made it out for the show, and we ended up on the podium, which was pretty wild.
Great story, Trev. Congrats.
Thanks a lot.
Always good to see everybody working together in the pits. Guys, give us a second. We'll get over there with Mark Fawcett.
Mark Fawcett once again on the podium, still looking for that first win, but boy, oh boy, he's Mr. Consistency, that's for sure.
Well, Mark, the second half of the season's been quick. This 32's been in a lot of these battles here. Talk about your run tonight. Looked pretty good.
Yeah, you know, for the final night of the year, I'm pretty happy to run this car. Haven't had the greatest luck this year, but you know what? I got to do a good shout out for my sponsors. I haven't had that chance this year. I want to make sure SP Motorsports, Harrington Built, Gale's Aftermarket. Gale helps me out so much, guys, around the track. He helps everybody else. Niagara Exhaust, Stickerette, they do so much work and around the track here as well. And NICAM and Jerry's Pizza. And thanks to fans for coming out and cheering us all on.
Right on. Mark Fawcett will be third. Trevor DeBoer second. And your winner and feature winner tonight, his 7th championship. Make some noise for Dave Bailey. Gets it done once again. We'll be back live on GeForce TV. The 360 Sprints have their championship race coming up to close off Epic RACEWEAR Night at Ohsweken. We'll be right back on GeForce TV.
Well, good evening, everybody. Welcome to our weekly race chat.
Adam Ross and Clinton Jeffrey are live and interactive every Tuesday night. Rivals Race Chat is your home for race discussion, debate, news, interviews, and more. They'll even take your questions and comments live on the air and talk to some of the newsmakers each week. Tune in every Tuesday night at 8 p.m. on G-Force TV. Welcome back live to Ohsweken Speedway here on G-Force TV. Greg Keltman along with Adam Ross and Clinton Jeffrey as we get ready for the final feature of the night. We've crowned 3 champions and now one more, and it's Mike Bowman, the rookie in the 360 sprints. It has a 23-point lead over Ryan Turner, 27 points over Liam Martin, and 35 over Corey Turner. But, Adam, this is a different racetrack than what Mike has had all of his success on.
You know, it really is. It's a different kind of pressure tonight on championship night. In fact, I'm not sure what is Mike Bowman's championship pedigree, Clinton. If he has won some, it would have been at Merrittville Speedway, but I don't know how many titles he's won. I know he's won some big races, though.
I don't recall Mike winning a championship. Not to say that he hasn't, but maybe we might have to Google the dirt rule book here, record book.
Well, here's the starting lineup for tonight's 25-lap main event for the Cool Kids Ice and Water Core Pack Merchandising Sprint Cars. Rolling from the pole out of Binbrook in car number 9. It's a live wire, Liam Martin, and alongside him, the 2019 winner of the Nationals from Cowlsville, New York, in car number 52, the straight shooter, Scott Kruder. Lining up third out of Dade City, Florida, in the 15 Double G, it's Garrett Green, and his outside from Scotland in the 87X. It'll be Sean Evans starting fourth. Rolling off fifth, out of Brantford in the 49L, it's Lucas Smith, and starting in the 6th spot, he was tonight's Top Gun Award winner from Mount Bridges in the 45, Nick Sheridan. Starting in 7th, that's where we find the point leader from St. Catharines in the 71, Mike Bowman, and his outside from Thamesford in car number 7, it's Eric Gledhill. Rolling off 9th, second place in the points out of Dunville in the 15, it's Ryan Turner. And working to his outside, starting in the 10th spot from Niagara Falls, the 70 is Bailey Hurd. 11th starting position from Ohsweken in the 68, it's Aaron Turkey. And starting in 12th, it's Cobra Chuck Hebing from Ontario, New York in the 45H. Dylan Westbrook rolls off 13th. He's from Scotland in the 47X. And Ryan Conium starts 14th from Burlington, the 46C. Starting 15th out of Ohsweken, the 77T is Tyler Pallas. Last year's champion, Corey Turner from Tilsonburg in the 17X lines up 16th. 17th from Freelton, the 12 Double D, that's Darren Dryden. And starting in the 18th spot, car 0, the Ohsweken Flyer, Glenn Stiers. Lining up 19th out of Beachville in car number 5 is DJ Christie, and Alan Downey from Hamilton, the 19D, lines up 20th. Starting 21st out of Brantford in car number 10, downtown Mitch Brown. 22nd from Dorchester in car number 1, it's Holly Porter. Starting 23rd from Dunville, the 46 is Kevin Pauls, and Derek Jonathan out of Lewiston, New York in the 81 will line up in 24th.
Guys, to answer your question, Mike Bowman was the 2021 champ at Merrittville Speedway 2 years ago before he jumped into the crate sprints.
Well, there you have it. While we got a second, let's give a shout out and good luck to Brian Nanico. Crow is on the pole tonight for the Action Sprint Tour East event down at Can-Am Speedway in Watertown, New York.
Cam McKinnon down there tonight as well. Some of our regulars competing at a very fast Can-Am Speedway.
Brian's crew chief, Link Harrison, is here tonight turning wrenches on the 15 Double G of Garrett Green.
All right, folks, final time for the Cool Kids Ice and Water Core Pack Merchandising Sprint Cars. They're 4 wide and fancy for you, the fans. On your feet, wave them on. Send these 24 drivers off Ohsweken style. Different storylines here tonight. Championship on the line. We've got some visiting drivers trying to get some track time, preparing for the Nationals next week. You've got some drivers out of the thick of the points, but looking for a big win here tonight. You got a young hot shoe that got his first win on Saturday and has been on a tear ever since at Nick Sheridan. So hard to say what's going to happen here tonight. But nonetheless, the white flag has been displayed. That means next time by we're going green flag racing for 25 laps, 2x2, 12 rows of beautifully prepared sprint cars ready to come to life. Liam Martin, Scott Kruder on the front row. Dave Hunsinger with green flag in hand. The Strickland Pace truck pulls off on the backstretch. Ladies and gentlemen, you came looking for a show. Well, here you go. Let's end all the anticipation as we bring to you our feature presentation.
Liam Martin with a great launch at the drop of the green flag. He'll lead the way down the back straightaway. Sean Evans the second. Scott Kruder third. Ryan Turner back in the fifth spot.
Gotta say, I like the way Sean Evans looked in his qualifying heat tonight. He's showing that same speed here at the drop of the green flag. He works to the outside of Liam Martin. He'll sneak ahead into the lead in corner number 3. Martin on the bottom fighting back.
Tyler Powless had some problems in turn number 1. He fell all the way to the back after getting off the racetrack. Liam Martin throws it to the inside as Sean Evans for the lead. Couldn't make that stick.
Eric Gledhill was quick in his heat as well. He's up there in the top 5, racing with Kruder and Sheridan. He's on the outside of the straight shooter and grabs the spot away at the line.
Sean Evans leads the way, working the high side. Liam Martin going to run the same line in 1 and 2. He'll drop to the bottom in 3 and 4, see if he can make up any ground that way.
Boy, oh boy, Sean Evans is like a rocket ship right now in that number 87X, the Instapanels ride. Out in front over Liam Martin, Eric Gledhill. Here comes Lucas Smith now, down to the inside of Scott Kruder.
We stay clean and green as Sean Evans extends his advantage out in front in that Instapanels 87X. Liam Martin is settled in nicely to the second spot. Now it's a matter of Mike Bowman. Can he work his way through this traffic? He's gotten around Scott Kruder, but Nick Sheridan going to take a run. He's going to try to take that spot back.
As Sheridan is running that extreme outside line, as is Dylan Westbrooks in his tire tracks. About 10 car lengths behind that as they work on the outside of Mike Bowman and Scott Kruder, who are right now glued to the inside.
Sheridan goes around the outside of Mike Bowman. He'll take that position back into the top 5.
Here comes Liam Martin back down to the inside of Sean Evans. The battle for the lead tightened up as they race around Eric Jonathan. Back into corner 1 comes Martin. He's right there on the tail tank.
When it comes to aggressive moves in slower traffic, advantage Liam Martin. The young man has no fear. He will put the race car wherever he needs to. Liam Martin going to lead the way in lap number 9.
Yeah, he takes the lead back and edges Sean Evans out of the way in corner number 1. Evans to the second spot. Lucas Smith running in third, his best run of the year so far in the 360s. Sheridan right behind him. Oh, he sneaks it down to the inside, steals it away down in 3.
What a move by Nick Sheridan in that 45 to take over that spot. Martin continues to lead the way. Sean Evans lost some forward drive there in turn 2. You could see him lose 12 car lengths in about 5 seconds.
Liam Martin had to slow up a little bit there to get around Kevin Pauls down the front stretch as Sean Evans gives chase, and the guy that's closing the gap right now is Nick Sheridan, but he's bringing with him Lucas Smith and Mike Bowman.
Liam Martin has extended his lead. He works off of turn number 2, half a straightaway back Sean Evans. Nick Sheridan was closing in. Now Mike Bowman drives to the inside of the 45. They'll race side by side off of 4.
Dylan Westbrook started 13th. He's up to 6th. And he's closing in on Lucas Smith for a top 5 as well. So D-Dub's finding some speed tonight. Here goes Mike Bowman. He'll pass Nick Sheridan into the 3rd position.
Halfway through, 13 laps down, 12 to go. Now 14 laps down as the laps tick away in a big old hurry in this 360 sprint car feature.
Oh, wow. Liam Martin really threw it sideways up in corner number 3. Thought he was going to lose it. Gathers it back up. He is running on that thin line on the outside. Problems for DJ Christie up at 2. He's slow on the back stretch. The caution will wave.
Problem as well for one of the 15s. Is that Ryan Turner?
No,
or is that
Garrett Green.
Okay.
Garrett Green goes off in the 15 GG. And DJ Christie rolls to a stop on the high side of corner number 3. That brings out the caution with 10 laps left to go. That'll tighten up the pack. You've got some comers and goers here. And one of those is Mike Bowman. Has worked his way up to 3rd. Dylan Westbrook started 13th. He's up to 4th. Nick Sheridan had been moving towards the front, but then faded as Bowman and Westbrook got by him.
But remember, double file restarts and the choose rule. This could really play into this race. We're going to restart with 10 laps to go.
And the way the track's been tonight, there have been kind of a bit of diversity on different lines tonight than we've seen in the past because there is a lot of moisture still on the bottom. And some drivers very committed to the top. So you're right, the choose rule maybe will play in more than we've seen earlier on in the year tonight.
Clinton Jeffrey out there on the scene. They're checking into what is going on with the 5 machine. Now he's having a word with driver DJ Christie as he continues to survey the situation.
Guys, a flat right rear is the only problem I can see here on the 5 of Christie. All the suspension appears to be intact. Don't see any issues there other than a flat right rear.
Of course, DJ Christie 9th in the points. 30 points up on Holly Porter. 23 points back of Mitch Brown in the number 10. Is this car going to be picked up from the back end, taken back to the pits? And I don't believe there's guaranteed time in the work area now that we're into the second half of the feature.
That's correct. We just relayed the message to DJ. There is no guaranteed work time after the halfway point with 10 laps to go. So this crew will have to work hard. They'll send a push truck in with them and be ready. We'll see if we can follow it in.
So there's Liam Martin, the leader of this event. Took it back from Sean Evans and he was on that thin edge all the way around this track. And about a lap before we went under the caution, he had one of those, well, basically turn 2 Liam Martin moments where he's just, you swear he's going to hit the wall, but he's found this sweet spot that I think some drivers haven't found yet. And then he went up in 3, and I thought he was going to send it all the way sideways, but he gathered it up, and he has been lightning fast tonight. Liam Martin in that summertime insulation number 9.
When you come into the final night of points in a championship season running in 3rd, there's only one option. Go out there and stand on it, try to win the race. Anything else is out of your control. Liam Martin doing everything he needs to do so far to try to track down this 360 Sprint Car Championship. Ryan Turner has faded back just a little bit, not too far. He's running in the 7th spot. We have a look at that replay. DJ Christie just touched the wall a little bit.
Yeah, it must have been the next lap around that because the next time when he came up to 2, that's where he slowed. So I think that's where the contact was. And then by the time he came around, that tire was done.
Clinton Jeffrey channeling his former life as a CAA operator down there trying to wrap a strap around the back end of DJ Christie's number 5 so that they can hook this thing up and get that end of the car picked up into the air and get it off the racetrack.
So it's Martin, Evans, Bowman, Westbrook, and Sheridan, your top 5. And some very good runs tonight. One for Sean Evans, dominant in his qualifying heat, led the opening laps in this one, and still I wouldn't count him out at all yet. Sean in the back half of this season, I've noticed just there's a confidence, but it's also a consistency. And he's showing it here tonight that he's a name we're going to be watching. And wouldn't be surprised to see him in victory lane soon. And then how about Lucas Smith having his best run of the year, I believe, tonight in the 360s.
Yeah, absolutely he is. Driving a great line out there in the 49L. We already know he has nerves of steel. I don't know how he can get that 5th seatbelt on.
He is not your typical championship racer. Last year, for those of you that weren't with us watching or don't know about it, but Lucas Smith racing for the championship for the crates, making passes that the typical points racer would never even dream of doing.
No, they take your breath away, that's for sure. I believe we're going to see the choose cone make its way out onto the front stretch here momentarily. As the lineup is set, everything seems good.
Clinton Jeffrey's going to follow DJ Christie and see if we can get a signal there just to see that tire get changed on DJ Christie's car. There you see they brought him to the pit area. Cone is out.
All right, where are they going to go? Liam Martin down to the bottom. That doesn't surprise me. There's great bite off of turn number 4 on the bottom.
And Kruder.
So Bailey Hurd going to pick up a row. Otherwise, everyone else is fairly status quo.
Quick fired up as the 360s come back to it with 10 laps left to settle it.
Great launch for Liam Martin once again. Dylan Westbrook powers through the middle of Sean Evans and Mike Bowman. Bowman fights back on the bottom. Bowman will take up that 2nd spot, but Dylan Westbrook heads to the outside. He's going to battle for that position.
Wheel to wheel down into corner number 1. Westbrook on the outside, Bowman on the bottom. Ryan Turner, who's a points challenger here tonight, he's worked his way up to the 4th spot.
Willpower and determination for Ryan Turner to get himself up into contention. Mike Bowman doing what he needs to do out there in that 2nd spot. Westbrook seems good on the outside, but there's a little spot between 1 and 2 where he kind of runs out of forward drive.
It's all Liam Martin at this point, looking for his 2nd win here of 2023, one earlier on in the year, and has been without a victory since. As D-Dubs right now to the 2nd spot, Bowman not going away on the bottom.
No, D-Dubs on the high side in 3 and 4, then last time into 1 and 2, he closed off the bottom and ran Bowman's line, so it wouldn't allow Bowman to close in on him. Westbrook maintaining that 2nd spot, but neither of them have anything for Liam Martin at the moment in that number 9.
Chuck Ebing started back in the 12th spot here tonight. He's worked his way to 6th, as now he's working on getting rid of Nick Sheridan and catching Sean Evans for a top 5.
Liam Martin back into slower traffic. He goes around Derek Jonathan in the 81. 4 laps to go. Jonathan slides up almost into Dylan Westbrook in turn 1.
Martin on the outside, but boy, he has a gaggle of traffic right in front. He'll have to get around Palace. He slows up a bit for Kevin Pauls, and that's really going to bottle up the leader. Here comes Dylan Westbrook trying to close the gap. Wow. 3 laps left to go.
Martin avoids the turn 2 wall, but not by much. Down into 3 and 4, back into the line that got him out front. He leads the way by about 15 car lengths over Westbrook.
Westbrook really closed the gap down in corner number 1, but Martin will make it back up down the backstretch. Here comes Westbrook, taking another shot at it. This time by white flag out for the live wire.
Beautiful move by Liam Martin to get down to the bottom, get into some bite. One final time down the backstretch, Greg.
Dylan Westbrook threw one down in quarter number 1. It didn't really work. Here he comes at 3. He throws it down inside of Martin. Martin on the high side, though, is going to power off a Ford, get his 2nd win of the year.
Liam Martin with the win. Dylan Westbrook 2nd. Mike Bowman comes home 3rd. And that should secure the championship for the driver of the number 71. Ryan Turner finishes 4th. Nick Sheridan 5th. So unofficially, I believe Liam Martin will jump to 2nd in the points championship. Ryan Turner will drop to 3rd. But what a race, what a night. 4 championships crowned. 4 4-wide salutes. 3 champions interviews. We are done before 11 o'clock. Great job to the track crew. Great job by these drivers. Great job, Doug Leonard. That's a show well run.
Omo Fireworks lights up the sky one final time on our 2023 points chase. Of course, we got Nationals weekend next weekend, but another regular season in the books, and boy, it flew by fast.
It sure did. But by and large, it was a safe season. It was a competitive season, and Liam Martin is out of the car. He's going to celebrate in victory lane.
How about it, ladies and gentlemen? Liam Martin will get it done tonight. His 2nd feature win of 2023, and he gets in there with the family. Everybody happy in to see him. We'll get in and get a word with him in just a moment's time as the whole crew in for hugs for Liam Martin.
I see Steve Lyons down there celebrating. Boy, oh boy, he is the live wire, is he not? Lap by lap. There isn't usually a lap that isn't exciting for Liam Martin.
No, there's sure not. Lots of congratulations down there in victory lane. Liam is headed up to meet with Clinton Jeffrey. Let's get a word with our feature winner.
Liam, what a drive, man. You nearly put in that fence every lap off turn 4. Looked like the cushion was really getting skinny up there. Talk about those laps, man.
Oh, those were some intense laps near the end of that race. The cushion was definitely getting skinny. I was worried earlier on that the bottom would be really, really fast to where I'm not as great on the bottom, so it's kind of tough sometimes, but I was able to make it work early on and then get up to the high side after I seen Sean get me there at the start. It's just pumped. It's a great run for us. I can't thank Dan Anico, Steve Lyons, my mom, dad, team, everyone for coming out, and all my lovely sponsors. They do a great job putting forward money and help for us, and I can't thank them enough.
Right on. Liam Martin gets it done, guys. His 2nd win in 2023.
And the guy that finished right on his heel, what a bounce back week for him. He picks up a win down at Brighton on Sunday night and now runner-up here at Ohsweken after the championship went away last week for D-Dubs, Dylan Westbrook.
Dylan, bittersweet run tonight. You know, we saw you lose the championship last week, and that kind of took you out of it tonight. But, you know, still a solid run, man. You're still quick. That's still got to be cool. And you're still the winningest driver ever here in the 360s. So that's kind of neat.
Yeah, struggled a little bit in that heat race, just getting by guys, but made up for it in the feature and had a good run there. Just need a couple more laps, just start a little bit further up. But yeah, real happy, kind of excited for Nationals. If we get a track like this, I think we got something figured out now.
Definitely peaking the right time.
Yeah, thank you.
Dylan Westbrook with a great, solid run here tonight.
And how about Mike Bowman? He comes in as a rookie, and he can take the stripe off and put a championship sticker over top of it. He's with Clinton Jeffrey.
Well, Mike, congrats on the 2023 Ohsweken Speedway 360 Sprint Car Championship. You know, I know it's something you probably didn't expect early in the year, but the runs came, and, man, this crew just put it together for you. Fantastic season. You got to be real proud to be the champ here at the Big O.
Yeah, totally. I mean, you know, congrats to Nitro 54 too. Good win tonight, and man, the effort those guys put forth last week to keep Ryan in the hunt was pretty impressive. But yeah, I knew we had a bit of a cushion coming into tonight, and you know, I just had to manage the race properly. We didn't want to we were very careful with our setup choice tonight. We didn't have a car to win, that's for sure, but we needed a versatile car and to not dial ourselves out of the box just to bring it home. So great job all year by the guys. I got to thank Dynablast, Seaway Fluid Power, TKC Metal, IRP Max, Ryko, Douglas Hydraulic Manufacturing, St. Auto and Truck, Dave Reedy at Penske Shocks. I gotta thank that guy from Morgan, Minnesota, Guy Forbrook. He's been helping me a lot this year. I kind of kept that one to myself until now, but thanks a lot to Guy for all his coaching and helping me through some of the adversity I've been facing. I got to thank Glenn Stiers, Terry Vince, Terry Baker, Brett Strafford, all the guys in the chassis shop there, GSR. Glenn come up with chassis and a motor for me to do this 360 deal. And, it wasn't long before Glenn wanted a GSR chassis under our crate car as well. I got to thank my mom and dad, my wife. They're at home watching. My cousin Linda is here with her husband, Bert. There you are. Hey, guys. And, I stole Cadman's left rear out of his trailer because the stagger choice we won tonight. So I got to thank John for left rear tire. But, glad this is over, and let's get focused on the Nationals.
Congrats. Mike came in as a rookie in the 360s. He will leave the 2023 season as the champ. How about it for Mike Bowman, your 360 Sprint Car champion at the Big O this year?
Well, Adam, Epic RACEWEAR Championship night. We came in with 4 titles to decide. 2 of the point leaders coming into tonight. 1 titles. 2 of them go home with broken hearts.
And that's what keeps people coming back. It's hard to do. The whole season is hard. And next year, if we're able to come back and sit in these chairs again, we're going to talk about things that happen in June and say, later on this year when champions are crowned, this team's going to be glad they were able to make that tire change. They're glad they were able to get their driver back on the racetrack because it all matters at the end of the year. Every single point is important.
It really does count, every position out there every week, and we saw that tonight, how close things were right down to the end. So congratulations go out to all of our champions, our race winners tonight. I want to thank everyone that's been here as part of our regular season. Don't forget, next weekend is Nationals weekend, Friday and Saturday night. We hope you can join us in person. Plenty of great seats available to the 2 biggest races on dirt for sprint cars in the province of Ontario. Make that in all of Canada here coming up this coming weekend. Make sure you join us Friday and Saturday night, Ohswekenspeedway.com for ticket information, camping. It's a great weekend that you'll want to be a part of. So that will wrap things up. On behalf of the Stiers family, all of our great staff and officials, and on behalf of Clinton, Jeffrey, and Adam Ross, I'm Greg Kellman saying so long. We'll see you next time here on G-Force TV. Copyrighted broadcast may not be reproduced, retransmitted, or used in any form without the authorized written consent of G-Force TV. G-Force TV would like to thank you for your support and for watching today's broadcast.